Everybody, and welcome to the campus of Lake Brantley High School. You're watching Space Coast Tar Heels football, brought to you tonight by the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, coming up March 7th through the 9th. First Choice Medical Group, All Points, and Frog Bones Family Shooting Center. Once again, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the campus of Lake Brantley High School. Alan Slaughterzinski and Derek Smith with you tonight. And, Coach, welcome back to another broadcast as the 3-0 Space Coast Tar Heels get set to battle the 3-0 Orlando Phantoms. And, Coach, when you're talking about semi-pro football, minor league football, whatever you want to call it, we'll talk about our hometown Tar Heels in a minute. But this organization down here on the sidelines, 6 previous minor league football champions. They are the defending champions of the league that both the Tar Heels and the Phantoms played in last year. They've got former Brevard County High School football players on this team. This is the model, Coach, for semi-pro football.
Yeah, absolutely. You notice it right away. Coming into the stadium tonight as we're setting up the cameras, watching them warm up, the first thing you notice is they got 6 or 7 coaches on their staff. Their warm-up was very organized. I mean, every player out there showed an intensity and a attention to details, which was great. Definitely they are the program that most people in this league should be modeling their programs after. We are getting there as a Tar Heel program, but I know our Tar Heels are excited today with the defense, the way they've been playing in the last 3 games. Hopefully our defense tonight can continue this exciting string of turnovers they keep doing. But again, they're playing a great Orlando Phantom team. It didn't take much time to really figure out how well organized this program is.
Yeah, no question about it. And, Coach, I got to tell you, it's fun to travel over here to broadcast this game because as we had originally spoke with the Tar Heels before the season started, our goal was to broadcast the home games. But the Space Coast has really supported the Space Coast Tar Heels. And Coach, that is a credit to owner Roger Lewis, who, you know what, he is really building something here, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. The next step and the next goal would be to obviously try to find a corporate sponsor to help take care of his program and also get these Brevard County products backed. I mean, like we said, there's 7 or 8 on the Orlando Phantom roster. It'd be nice to have those 7 or 8 playing with us. The first one that's going to stick out as the starting tailback for the Phantoms is Roger Walker. Roger Walker currently just graduated from Marietta College, was an All-American tailback for them, and is the starting tailback tonight for the Phantoms. And it'd be a nice opportunity to get him to come back and play for the Tar Heels as we continue to build success.
Yeah, and you look at the Tar Heels, Coach, and they're undefeated. They're 3-0. I labeled this as their nemesis, their rivals. Last year in the conference championship game, it was a 28-6 Phantom victory. They would go on to win the championship last year. But over the last 3 games, the Phantoms have outscored the Tar Heels 108-28, Coach, and are 3-0 against them in the process.
Yeah, but the one thing that is about that stat that you'll notice is that even though it's 108-28, the scores have been getting closer and closer.
Right.
So the scores are getting closer and closer. That's telling you that our program's gaining more and more success. We're getting better as the time goes. And this year right now, I think this is probably our most successful year to starting out 3-0, especially, again, the defense that we're putting on a field on a weekly basis is high energy, flies around to the football, and right now they're averaging 4.5, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but 4.5 turnovers a game, which is a phenomenal stat. If we can continue anywhere get half of those turnovers tonight, it's going to be a good night for the Tar Heels playing close to the Phantoms.
No question about it. Once again, you're watching Saturday Night Football here on Space Coast Daily TV. Alan Slaughterzinski, that's me, and Coach Derek Smithy is the head coach of the Veer Hawks. Coach, tell us about some of the Brevard products on the Tar Heels.
Well, the one that to me that really stands out right now, is I really like the fact that back there at safety, playing back there at safety, we have a former Heritage Panther.
I can't remember his name either.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it slipped my mind. But it's called being outside in the dark. We don't have.
Is it Dees?
No,
Dees. It's not David Dees.
He's been playing the strong safety spot.
That's all right. They've got 5 former Brevard County products on the roster, and I tell you what, Coach, all of them are contributors.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're going to be correcting names as we go. But right now, like one of my favorite ones again, goes back to Dietrich Witherspoon.
Dietrich Witherspoon, that's it. Sorry about
been
that.
Playing the safety spot, and again, it goes back to slipping. But Dietrich Witherspoon, I think, right now was one of the first players that I noticed 3 weeks ago that was ready to play this game from the immediate start. He is not only a good cover guy, he covers a lot of space back there at the free safety spot. He is an intimidating factor with the mere fact that he will hit you also.
Yep.
The other part is he is the punt returner, kick returner. He is deadly with the football in his hands. So the fact that, that's one of the first guys that notices that I like. The other thing is that we have been getting great football games out of Fisher. Fisher, to me, DeJuan Fisher is exciting to watch because whenever you run the ball away from him, somehow he shows that he has rockets, hooked up to his pants, catches up the football, and makes a lot of plays when the players ran away from him. Running to him, he's not afraid to take on blockers, and he does a good job running the ball to him also. Tonight, I'm really hoping that we see a good performance out of Matt Parsons. But at the same time, if you watch last week when Rick Rivers came in at quarterback, Rick Rivers has a little bit of different style game to him. Parsons got a bigger, stronger quarterback with a big arm, but Rick Rivers got some little quickness and elusiveness to him. He's going to be hard to tackle. So we somewhat have a slight quarterback controversy in my mind because they're both good products, and which one do you want to go with? The guy that is a pure passer, or do you want to go with the guy that can make things happen with his legs? So either or, I think they're both good products that we're looking forward to seeing tonight.
And, we were watching the warm-ups, Coach, and Matt Parsons didn't have the pads on. So I don't know if he's one of those quarterbacks, Coach, that doesn't practice with his pads on, or, we see that sometimes in the NFL. So, I don't know. Stay tuned. As Coach said, we could have a quarterback controversy coming up here tonight. And, I wouldn't say it's a controversy, but that's the only way you could put it, really.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you got two guys that are valuable at the position, there's always going to be somebody that said it should be the other person. I sometimes like that situation. Using two quarterbacks that have two complete different styles could be tough on a defense. Being a defensive guy myself as a defense coordinator, you go into a system preparing for a pocket pass quarterback with a strong arm. You have different stunts and blitzes designed for him. And then all of a sudden you get an individual in there that's got the legs that can move. You're not ready for it. Your entire defense has been prepared to stop the quick passing game and a non-elusive quarterback with a strong arm. It's pass rushers don't worry about getting upfield. They worry about getting their hands in the passing lanes. Now all of a sudden the guy with the legs, your pass rusher's got to be more cautious. You got to have a linebacker that's there on spy patrol or contain breaking these kind of quarterbacks. So it changes the mindset of a game plan. So to me, having two different guys like that could be a deadly combination for opposing defenses.
All right, Coach, as you take a look on the field, they can't see on the field because I've got the graphic up, but as you look on the field, you've got captains and coaches, I believe, for the coin toss. And we can't go anywhere. Coach drives us all the way over here to Orlando tonight. We can't go anywhere without Derek Smith knowing at least 15 people. It reminds me of my sister up in Boston. I'm going to call you the faux mayor of Florida is what you are, because as soon as we walk into the stadium, a guy in an orange jersey says, hey, there he is. Who was it?
A couple former players of mine saw me. They were playing for the Phantoms. Along with that, the coach down there, one of the I think he's actually the head coach for the Phantoms, is a colleague of ours that we've been coaching against each other for years. He's been the head coach at Lake Brantley. Before that, I think he was the head coach for Edgewater. But again, it's when you coach in high school football for 22 years, you're bound to meet plenty of individuals in the coaching world. But not only that, in the actual players itself. There are so many players that we've had an opportunity to meet in this career. It's a great career. It's a fun thing to do. Individuals who are looking into college eventually, go to college, get a degree, get into education, and get into this coaching game. It keeps you young. It's fun.
There you see the actual captains taking the field, and you also saw pop up on your screen the little icon there for the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival. Now, the Space Coast Seafood and Music, well, you know what? What do I need to be telling them about this for? Why don't we take a break and take an opportunity to check out what you, Brevard County, can experience starting Thursday night. We'll be back here for Saturday Night Football from Lake Brantley High School as the Tar Heels get set to take on the Orlando Phantoms. You're watching Space Coast Daily TV.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to SpaceCoastSeafoodFestival.com for showtimes.
Some homemade soup. I'm feeling pretty good, and that's the truth. It's neither drink nor drug induced. Nah.
Well, now the devil went down to Georgia and he's looking for soul.
When we realize that the most high divine is around and inside us, then we can sense how we won't alter and so that's
All right, welcome back. Once again, you're watching the Space Coast Tar Heels and the Orlando Phantoms tonight here on Space Coast Daily TV. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by First Choice Medical Group, All Points, Mike Erdman, Nissan and Toyota, Frog Bones Family Shooting Center, and the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival. And, Coach, coming up tonight during each quarter, Ethan Sansoni and the great people at Frog Bones have donated a gift certificate good for 1 hour worth of shooting at Frog Bones Family Fun Shooting Center. So in each quarter tonight, we are going to have a trivia question, and if you are the first person to correctly answer that trivia question on the screen, you will win a gift certificate good for 1 hour worth of free shooting at Frog Bones.
Well, that's a great opportunity. I tell you what, there ain't no better place to go get into gun. Oh, we'll wait for this.
National Anthem. Wow, Coach, I don't think I've ever heard a better rendition of the national anthem. I don't know how young she is, but she did a fantastic job.
Absolutely. What a way to start the night. I'll tell you what, that's exciting to start a night just like that. Just to open up with an individual to have passion in their heart to be able to sing the national anthem like that, that's a great job.
And, of course, right now the PA announcer is asking for a moment of silence for head coach David Dye, who buried his lovely wife, or they had the service this morning for his lovely wife. So we'll take a moment of silence.
All right, thank you very much. This is play ball.
All right, as we get set for the kickoff here at Lake Brantley. Coach, you were right. These facilities here at Lake Brantley are phenomenal. We'd like to welcome people watching tonight. Billy Palmer, Caleb, the cameraman Brown is watching. Hey, Alan and Coach Smith, welcome, Caleb. Welcome to the broadcast. Caleb, you have to get in with us and come on over here and work this camera for us one night. It is just Coach and I on the broadcast. So, all right, Coach, your three keys to a Tar Heel victory tonight. What will they need to do?
First is 0 turnovers. Cannot have turnovers. Anytime you play a great football team, a championship football team, turnovers will kill you. So I'd like to see 0 turnovers tonight. Flip it on the other side. We need to have 3. I think the magic number is 3 plus 3 for the turnover ratio. I'd like to see the Tar Heels establish the run. Last week we didn't have J.J. Ben out there. J.J. Ben was on the sideline because of an injury. But I'll tell you what, last week I thought Jaleel Davis did a great job.
He
I
did.
think between Jaleel Davis and J.J. Ben, if he's healthy right now, will be a great 1-2 punch combination. And again, the running game a lot of times prevents you from having turnovers because you control the clock, 1. 2, it's easier to throw an interception than it is to fumble. And the last part is I'd like to see 3 to 4 tacklers on every single run play for the Tar Heels. They have been really relentless getting to the football. They don't tackle with 1 man. They tackle with 3 to 4. If they continue that relentless attitude on getting to the football, it can be a close game tonight.
All right, as it looks like Space Coast is going to kick off. And, of course, that's Alex Garcia, the kicker. Coach, he was hitting them from 45 in pregame. But as we've seen, unfortunately, for the Tar Heels kicking game, it is something at the moment, Coach, that has a lot to be desired.
Yeah, obviously, it goes back to special teams are 1/3 of the football game, and you have to actually practice a lot of time to get the timing. Whereas really, we saw the struggle was the field goal extra point part of the football game. A lot of times you want to put that on the kicker, but we cannot forget the fact that you have to have a snap and you got to have a quality hold, and then the kicker's able to do his job. So sometimes out of those 3 parts, if one of those 3 parts goes wrong, you do struggle a little bit in that part of the game. But if we just open up with a good – right now the Phantoms are not lined up very deep. Since they're not lined up very deep, if we get a good kickoff here, we can put this guy over the head and pursuit to the football, and we might start with some good field position for the Tar Heels.
I see one of the numbers back there. Velton Brown Jr., one of their leading yard getters, is back deep as 15 is on the clock. The score says 7-7. That's actually not the case as we get set for the opening kickoff here. And once again, tonight's game brought to you by the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in beautiful Vieira. And, Coach, we're going to talk about your little expedition coming up on Wednesday. And we'd like to welcome in Mimi. Mimi's watching. Mimi's here. Rashad Payne, mom, number 93. Let's go Tar Heels. And MK Belvin, let's get it. Avery Harris, Phantoms. Okay, we got a Phantom and a Tar Heel watching.
All right, we got a Phantom actually tuning in. I think Mimi tunes in every week.
Mimi is a loyal watcher. But we would love to have MK Belvin, do some talking. Let's see what we can work out. Maybe we can put another broadcast crew together and come do the Phantom games.
Absolutely. Feel free to respond anytime, MK Belvin. Right now, looks like the referees are squaring a few things before we get this kickoff going. And I'll tell you what, I wish I knew where that smell was coming from. We have an absolutely phenomenal smell that's coming up through the stands right now. I don't know. It smells like a T-bone of some sort, maybe.
I saw a Golden Corral on the way home, Coach.
I don't know. There's going to be quite a big distraction if we continue to smell this. My mind's going to go elsewhere. Between you talking about the seafood festival that's coming up here soon and that smell, my mind is a little bit more on food than it is football, but I know once this kickoff happens, I'm going to turn my head to football.
All right, your first trivia question of the night for those of you watching for a gift certificate for 1 hour worth of range shooting at Frogbones Family Fun and Shooting Center. Well, I'll give it to you here after the Phantom's possession.
Tell you what, if you have never been to Frogbones, they got the restaurant on the one side of the place. Great restaurant, good place to eat. They got some really good chili there, but they also, their menu is full of great items. And the other half, get yourself nice and full, then go into the gun range and be able to shoot a few rounds up in that gun range. It's pretty fun also. It's a great place to go visit, and have a good time shooting a few rounds off and then going to get something to eat. So I'm glad that Frogbones is sponsoring this trivia questions tonight, and I think whoever answers this question tonight is going to have a good time using that gift certificate.
No question. Now, there is a rule. You can only win once. So, all right, Garcia gets set, and here is the opening kick. It's a short one, Coach, taken at the 20. The Phantoms get up to.
There seems to be a seam right now. He's going to turn the corner.
Nice
Gets
block,
past the
too.
40. He's going to turn the corner, get past the 50, out of bounds around the 47-yard line. The Phantoms are already in the Tar Heel territory. It started with, again, the kicking game is struggling. He kicked more of the tee than he did the football. It was a short kick because of it. He was able to cross the field because the ball was short and it got there quick. The lanes weren't covered as possible, faster than it needed to be, and the Phantoms are starting with good field position.
Championship-winning quarterback Torrance Brown will be the signal caller for the Phantoms tonight, and we'll give you the names as we learn them. We didn't get a depth chart for the Phantoms, so I know I see big number 71 there anchoring the offensive line on the right side, it looks like, and that's Andre. Looks like Andre Javier. And again, small print. So
Phantoms come out in an empty set, and looks right away. They're going to direct snap. Brown seems to be a very athletic quarterback.
Oh, he is.
He's got 3 wide receivers to his right, 2 wide receivers to his left. I'm curious whether this is empty set in order to spread the field and run the football, or is he going to right away throw the football?
Coach, what's that defense Space Coast is coming out in? Explain it to the viewers.
Right now, they looks like they're going to be in man coverage. They're starting out in man coverage. They got a free safety down the middle of the field. They're locked up with the 3 receivers down here and 2 receivers at the top. And they're keeping 1 linebacker in the box. Sometimes that's why teams will come out with an empty set with a running quarterback, is because when you keep 1 linebacker in the box, now it's 5 offensive linemen blocking 4 defensive linemen, 1 extra offensive lineman to account for that linebacker that's in the box. And if all 5 guys pick their guys up, the quarterback could break a big one.
That was Avery Harris on the 39-yard return. 1st and 10, 14:49 to play. This is the opening snap of the game.
Some quick little stop to the inside receiver. That's going to be about a 7 to 8 yard gain. That's a good timing route to open up with. It's a good job by the Phantoms quarterback finding his receiver open. But it's a good call by their offensive coordinator. To open up with a quick timing route was smart. The safety gave him about a 7 or 8 yard cushion. That's why he was able to get open.
All right, Coach, 2nd and 3, we'll call it for the Phantoms. Ball on the Space Coast 39-yard line, 14-23. No score. Once again, Coach, empty backfield.
Yep, another empty backfield. The Tar Heels are in the same defensive set. It still appears to be a man coverage. Safety's given a lot of cushion. Right away, they try to pierce down the middle of the field. I'll tell you, they're disguising between man coverage and cover 3. They lined up as if they were going to be in man coverage. The safety bailed to the middle of the field, and the corner started to bail, which is essentially a cover 3 look. Not allowing the receiver behind him in this cover 3 look. Good job by the Tar Heel defense.
All right, Coach. Well, this is obviously, I would think this is 2-down territory for the Phantoms here. Now, this is the backbone of the Tar Heels. This is a huge opening 3rd down. It's a chance to set the tone, maybe punch the opponent in the mouth a little bit right here.
Yeah, I'm probably looking for a quarterback run in this situation, especially if you're going to use 2 downs. Another timing route, quick little turn route.
Nice.
Good catch by the slot receiver. 1st down, another gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, too quick. So that seems to be get the ball out of his hands quickly, Coach. And he's 2 for 3 with 14 yards so far.
Yeah, what's happening in our essential alignment, the outside linebacker is splitting the difference between the 2nd and the 3rd wide receiver. If the outside linebacker turns his hips to the sideline, he throws to the inside receiver. If the outside linebacker turns his hips towards the quarterback, he throws to the outside receiver. Because all 3 receivers are running stop routes in that situation. It's just an easy read for the quarterback to watch the shoulders of that outside linebacker.
1st and 10 for the Phantoms. Ball on the Space Coast 31-yard line. Tony Brown's your quarterback.
Little drag route by the same receiver, keeps catching the football. That's the number 3 receiver dragging across the middle of the field. We're a little hesitant right now, to be quite frank with you. The pass rush that we are usually seeing isn't happening as we speak. Also, we shifted to another zone coverage right there.
And a flag.
The outside receiver and the inside receiver were open on that route.
I think a flag flew in late there, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be, looks like hands to the face, Coach, and that was called by the back judge there on the wide receiver for the Phantoms.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's a great call for us. In fact, it takes away a big gain for the Phantoms. It's going to put them in the 1st and 9 situation. Now that we're in a 1st and 9 situation, I want to see these defensive ends start getting upfield. The only thing is, I do believe they're probably hesitant because in an empty set, I think they're afraid that Brown could take off and run up the middle on some sort of QB draw. So I think they're slowly hesitating, but eventually those DNs are going to get comfortable and fly up the field.
Feel free to give us a hand tonight with any of the players on the Orlando Phantoms in terms of numbers and names. This is an interactive broadcast. 1st down and 9. Throw across the middle. Beautiful slant pass, Coach. Timing is just perfect.
Yeah, you could tell these guys work on their quick passing game all the time. The quick passing game is snap to the quarterback. Quarterback takes 3 steps. By the time he's done with that 3rd step, he should be hitting a guy on a timing route. That was a quick timing route slant by the inside receiver at the top of the screen.
Coach, I'm not even gonna try to disguise it all night long. The light system here isn't great, and they've got black jerseys with deep orange numbers. I'm 49 years old, Coach. The eyes aren't what they used to be, so we'll give it a best shot. 1st and 10 now. The ball is inside of the Mike Urban Nissan red zone, and there's that run you were looking for.
There goes that quarterback draw, and again, because it's a 5-man box, as you can see, if the offensive linemen just pick up those 4 defensive linemen, there's 1 linebacker left to try to take on that last blocker. All the quarterback has to do is read the shoulders of that last blocker. If the offensive lineman causes the linebacker's shoulders to go left, he goes right. That was, about 12-yard gain?
Yeah, 1st and goal now for the Phantoms. 11:40 to play here, opening quarter. And they've traveled about 43 yards so far, Coach. They took the opening kickoff about 40 yards, and now our 1st and goal ball is on, I think, about the 6-yard line here.
Yeah, we're still continuing with a 5-man box. Quick timing route, little turn routes again.
Touchdown.
Dropped by the receiver.
Oh, I thought he held on.
But again, it was all stops. All 3 receivers turn around after a 5-yard stop. He reads the outside linebacker's shoulders, and that's who he chooses. I'll tell you right now, this is a good quarterback. As he does push-ups on the field for dropping that ball, he knows he dropped a touchdown pass.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and goal for the Orlando Phantoms. And their quarterback, that is Torrance Brown. I called him Tony. My apologies.
Yeah, right now we're being passive defensively. We need to turn up the dial.
And we do that, Coach. Space Coast does that. They love to come after the passer. Haven't seen it yet.
No, they're maintaining a 5-man box, only bringing 4 pass rushers after the quarterback. Good job, again, getting after the football. It was a quick timing slant. Hit the receiver in stride, but the safety does a great job coming up and making the tackle for about a 2.5, 3-yard gain.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and goal here, Coach. Trying to get the exposure a little better for the viewers at home. So that's going to bring up 3rd and goal now for the Phantoms. 10:50 to play here, opening quarter. No score. Phantoms knocking on the door. Ball's on the 4-yard line.
Yeah, we really should see some aggressiveness here soon out of the defense. You got to get the quarterback out of his rhythm. Bring 5, maybe 6 to get him out of his rhythm, because his rhythm is pretty spot on right now.
I'd look for the run again right here, Coach. There it is.
Quarterback run. It's stuffed.
Oh, nice hit.
Again, the Tar Heels are coming up with pretty good tight defense. We're looking at about a 4th and 2.
So what do you do here, Coach? Do you you go for this, or you send in the field goal unit? 4th and goal. It looks like the kicker's coming in.
Me, in this situation, being the defending champions, I want to set precedent from day one. How do you set precedent for day one? Show the confidence in your football team. Go out there with your offense and try to score.
Kicker turns right back around and walks off the field. Yep. So obviously they're going to go for this.
Line up another empty set. It appears to me we're starting to get more aggressive defensively. They got 5 in the box now. Because they got that extra guy in the box, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to run the football. They bring the extra defender.
Got him.
Great catch by the receiver. I'll tell you what, the extra defender, DeJuan Fisher, was almost there, almost made the big play. But the poise of Brown to be able to squeeze that ball in there on that slant receiver, and the receiver to catch the football was a great job. Got a few extra whistles, so I'm not sure what's going on right now.
I don't know either, Coach. I'll tell you what, it was a good thing it was a short pass, Coach, because we got it. I was able to get it all on the camera. I'm trying to follow the pass rush and the pass at the same time.
Yeah, but it appears it's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown by the Phantoms. Again, it was a great timing pass. That's the good thing about these timing passes for an empty set is the quarterback catches the ball. He knows on that 3rd step, let the ball go, hits the slant across the middle. Fisher was a micro hair away from making a big sack. What I did like to see out of that, even though they did score, I like the fact that the Tar Heels finally brung pressure. If that same pressure probably happens 20 yards down the field, we may have a different situation, and they're not going in for their first touchdown.
I hate new stadiums, coming into new stadiums, trying to get the camera straight. Takes me about a half quarter.
All right, first extra point for tonight. We got a flag immediately on the play.
Beautiful
kick. He does split the uprights, though.
It's a beautiful kick.
We got encroachment on the defense, so obviously the Phantoms will decline that penalty to make it 7-0. Phantoms lead over the Tar Heels.
All right, 7-0. That was easy for Orlando. Too easy, in fact, if you're a Tar Heels fan. 9:40 to play here in the opening quarter. Your score, the Orlando Phantoms 7, the Space Coast Tar Heels nothing. We'll be back after these words from Mike Erdman, Toyota.
In a world, one man, one woman, in a battle of imports.
We've sold Toyotas in Brevard 25 years.
We've sold Nissans in Brevard for over 27 years.
An amazing battle between two dealerships in a winner-takes-all challenge. The winner, you, the customer.
When it comes to Nissan, Mike Erdman is the bottom line.
Oh, come on. Mike Erdman is Toyota.
Welcome back to the campus of Lake Brantley High School. Pretty easy there, Coach, for the Phantoms as a short pass from Torrance Brown to his receiver. 6-0, the extra point's good. 7-0, 9:40 to play. I'll give you the trivia question to win that Frog Bones Family Shooting Gallery gift certificate coming up here in just a second. I will tell you it is Brevard County High School football related.
All right, everybody get their mind together, get their Brevard County trivia ready. Kick off deep. It goes to Witherspoon. Witherspoon has a seam off the edge. He's going to take this out.
Woo!
Great job containing Witherspoon. Witherspoon was one tackle away from breaking that for a big touchdown to tie this game up.
All right, Coach, here is your trivia question. Brevard County High School football, of course, they've got 4 state championships with the Cocoa Tigers. Your Palm Bay Pirates, Coach, before the days of the Beer Hawks, you got a couple. But the trivia question is, who was the first Brevard County High School football team to win a high school state championship? And Billy Palmer, you cannot answer this question.
That should have been a clue for everybody out there that's listening. That was your first easy clue.
First correct response on the comment section of the broadcast wins a gift certificate good for 1 hour of range time at Frog Bones Family Fun and Shooting Gallery, located on US 1 in Melbourne. So our starting quarterback is indeed Matt Parsons, Coach.
Yeah, we coming out here. We have a one-back set with 2 receivers split to the right, 2 receivers split to the left.
Oh, my goodness, that's a free ball, Coach.
Ball's on the ground right away. Parsons takes a big hit trying to recover that ball, and the Phantoms have a recovered fumble for the first snap of the Tar Heels.
Okay, well, let me say 2 things, Coach. The first thing I'm going to tell you is, yes, it's a low snap. Second is, and Brett Pinkerton, you are, Brett Pinkerton is the winner. Brett Pinkerton, I'll message you after the football game and give you details. The answer is Melbourne High School. That's correct. They did so back in 1966. Coach, let me just say this. Matt Parsons, congratulations. Matt Parsons, the knee issue, he couldn't bend over to pick the football up. That's what cost him the turnover. Yes, the snap was low, but it was, he should have got it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Obviously, right away you could see that he has a knee injury that's going to bother him with his mobility. His mobility could end up causing issues, and that was the first issue. Like I told you tonight, maybe having a Rivers lineup at quarterback could change things a little bit.
Well, I can tell you, Coach, to dig out of a 10 or 14-0 hole, you're going to have somebody back there with two good wheels.
Another empty set. Phantoms line up in. Quarterback just throws the ball away. He did have pressure. We finally saw good pressure coming off the defensive end, and because he had good pressure, he threw the ball away.
That's Torrance Brown, your quarterback. I don't have a lot of information on the Phantoms roster, so for those of you that know a lot about these players and are watching right along with us, again, this is an interactive broadcast, and we encourage your participation here tonight. Educate us. Tell us about your hometown Orlando Phantoms. Coach, and have we seen Roger yet?
No, Roger's not been on the field yet. So right now they continue as this empty set, and I wouldn't change it. Their timing routes are there. The fact that Brown was able to throw the ball away with poise and when he had pressure right there tells me he's a very seasoned quarterback. I would probably continue with this until the Tar Heels prove they can stop it. We finally got pressure. He steps up the middle, but he is flushed. Because he is flushed, he shows poise and gets away with about a 2-yard loss.
And that is officially going to be a sack, Coach, and that's going to be let's see here. Maybe DeJuan Fisher gets the sack, or that actually number 99. It looks like.
Yep, that was number 99, Sylvester Eaton. came up to make that play. He pursued from the defensive tackle spot, but it also started with the fact that DeJuan Fisher was able to run him down and keep him from turning the corner. That's the pursuit we're talking about. That's what I want to see out of these guys. Both defensive ends flew upfield. They forced the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and when he stepped up in the pocket, it flushed him, and the defensive tackles did a great job pursuing him.
Coach, I just want you to know that I'm sleeping tonight on the way home. Just letting you know.
Well,
so
that's okay. All you have to do is walk the stadium 1 or 2 times, and you'll sleep.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, it's 3rd and 10. That's a low snap there. Whistles blow.
The whistles blow. We got a false start by the Phantoms. False start. That's I'll be honest with you. I think it's a good penalty for him. I think it saved a low snap. It kept the quarterback from being in a dangerous situation. So I think right now they got lucky, and actually it's better losing 5 as opposed to possibly fumbling that football.
Max Clevin says he went to Florida Air where a kid lit a squirrel on fire. That's a horrible story, Max.
Max, that is odd story right there, Max.
Of course.
Get a picture up here. We're getting.
So it's going to be 3rd and 15 now.
3rd and 15. He goes back. He's flushed a little bit, got a little pressure, goes deep down the middle.
Interception.
There's that first turnover we keep talking about.
Now, you said they would have to get at least 3 here tonight, Coach. That one hauled in by number 6, it looks like, James Perry.
Yeah, James Perry did a great job. Now, the part that I want to look at is if you replay that, you will see the receiver was behind the secondary.
Coach. Why do you say that?
Hey,
we're getting the technology.
The coach in me is always going to look at things, though, but the receiver was behind the secondary, but the pressure by the defensive line forced a quick pass faster than what he wanted to do. Barry does a great job high-pointing the football, and because he did a great job high-pointing the football, he picked that football off to give the Tar Heels the ball in their own territory.
I'm talking about the replay. You get me every week on that. And I go to look for a button to hit the replay, and we don't have one.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting on the replay system that Urban
7-0 Phantoms on top, 7:24 to play here. First quarter. The first turnover of the game, and Matt Parsons comes back not under center, but from the shotgun, Coach.
All right, clean snap. He goes to single receiver off to his right-hand side. Great pitch and catch right there.
What a catch.
You know, it was a basic go route or fade route is what they call it, out of the single receiver to the right-hand side. Parsons throws a strike as the receiver leaves his feet to make that catch. Good job by Jimmy Kelly.
Jimmy Kelly on the screen there. Of course, he is the Tar Heels' leading receiver. And right back to the line of scrimmage. Now, Coach, this is something we don't see a lot from them. We saw it during the 2-minute drill last week, but this is the first time this year we've seen the hurry up, not before a half.
Well, I think they're trying to show that they can play tick for tack with this Orlando Phantom offense. And maybe by running the hurry-up offense, they got an opportunity.
This is Peace on the Streets radio show. I'm your host, Prince of the South.
All right, so that's going to no gain there. And, Coach, I have a feeling that you're not going to be able to turn around at any point tonight, whether you're either one of these two teams, and hand the ball off on a straight dive.
No, it looks like it's going to be a passing game tonight without a doubt.
All right, 6:09. Little out pass there, Coach.
Shield. We got a quick shield or a bubble route thrown to number 11 for the Tar Heels. He was a key receiver last week for the Tar Heels, making a lot of big plays. Now it's a gain of about 7 yards.
And right back to the line of scrimmage, which is what I like. That's Aldrich Rivers, Coach, the guy that, at some point tonight I'm sure we'll see play a little bit of quarterback too. All right, so it brings up a 3rd and short, 1, maybe 2, 1. They got to get this one. 5:34 to play here in the opening quarter. The Phantoms on top 7-0 after getting into the end zone on a 6-play opening drive. Parsons across the middle. Nobody there. He threw it behind his receiver, Coach, and that's going to bring up 4th and 1. Here's where I may put Rivers under center and give it a shot here. You trust your defense enough to go for this?
I think in this situation, your punter is your friend, even though it's deceiving. A yard looks like it's easy to get. Go ahead and go for it in this situation and don't get it. You're giving a great Orlando Phantom offense good field position.
How about a hard count? Line up for a hard count.
Maybe a good opportunity for a hard count. It looks like they are definitely going for it. Tar Heels lineup. They got the big fullback in. They're under the center with an I formation, so the big fullback's in. I got a feeling it's probably going to be a quick handoff to the big football. fullback, or Parsons, a big quarterback. He could just fall forward for a yard. Little ISO play. That's going to be a first down. All right, good isolation play to the right side offense. This is something we saw a lot out of the Tar Heels in the last 3 weeks, is they do really have a good running game. The offensive line for the Tar Heels is big. It's physical. It makes holes. And they do a good job when it comes to just straight power running game.
You know what I like there, Coach? Fred Bullard picked the guy coming in off the edge. And he didn't go straight ahead, but he did hit the guy that would have made the difference in the play.
Back in the gun set, 2 receivers to his right, 2 receivers to his left. Tailback offset to his left. Drops back for a pass. Quick screen again to number 80. Great tackle by the Phantoms.
That's a textbook open field tackle right there, Coach. Keep your head in the middle of his chest, wrap him up, and take him to the ground.
Yeah, Jordan Mullins couldn't escape, but still, that's about a 4 or 5 yard gain. What that does is you keep this quick passing game, or the timing passing game, you're going to continue to draw the defensive backs forward. As you draw those defensive backs forward, it opens up your deep passing game. So eventually we're going to see them probably try to strike one over the top with their deep passing game. But again, Mullins with a great job catching the football, getting for 2 to 3 yards.
Burying on the stop, the DB there, good tackle by him. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.5, 7. Parsons changing the play at the line of scrimmage here, Coach. Didn't like what he saw. There's the snap.
Great
What a
job.
catch by Kelly, Coach.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Jimmy Kelly. Jimmy Kelly continues to make big plays. He's a big, strong, physical football player who refuses to not catch a football. That was a great job. I'll tell you right there, that situation, the DB had better angle on the football, and Kelly just put his foot in the dirt, stopped, and refused to let the DB take that football.
Look, we know that 4 quarters is a long time to play, but I would say this, Coach, this is certainly one of those turning points of the early part of the game. If they can turn this turnover into some kind of points on that board.
Absolutely. Turn this into 7 points. It's back to a 0-0 ball game. And the fact is, it's going to go back to the 3 turnovers. I think if we can force 3 turnovers, we have a chance to split a football game.
Oh!
Mullins' hands. I'll tell you what, that was a great throw by Parsons. Mullins was open. The ball hits Mullins in the hands.
You got to catch that.
DB last second gets a hand up there and kind of puts it in Mullins' way, forcing his eyes to maybe fall off the football a little bit, and he doesn't hold on to it. That was a good ball, good route. We can come back to that here in a little bit, but that opened up because of the short route they threw earlier.
Yeah, it's the offensive coordinator is Steve Rodriguez. There you see him on your screen there. So, yeah, no, Coach, that was I think you got to catch that ball. You got that's a down there in that corner. You got to fight for that, Coach.
Yeah, you got to go over the top. The old phrase mossing somebody. Randy Moss made that famous by going over top DBs and mossing people. That's what we need to see in that situation.
All right.
Motion of 3 wide receivers to the left. We're still in a shotgun set. Parsons drops back. It's a screen play.
That's a great defense there for the screen. That's a product of watching film on your opponent.
Absolutely. Jaleel Davis tried to run a screen. It didn't have any time to set up. The defense sniffed it out early. The man coverage, it appeared to, out of the middle linebacker, sniffed it out, was on top of Davis before he had a chance to even do anything with the football.
No gain, 3rd and 10, 2:28 to play here in Kawada, number 1. The Space Coast Tar Heels with the ball, trailing in the game 7-0, but they are driving, stalling a little at the moment. Ball on the 35-yard line of the Orlando Phantoms. Your quarterback is Matt Parsons, and Coach will tell us what happens here on the play.
We're in an empty set. They're giving us a cover.
Oh, that's got to be a flag. No flag on that?
There is a flag on the play.
All right.
The defense got their hands on the receiver early. By putting his hands on the receiver early, that should be holding, or at least holding on the defense, if not pass interference. Remember, this is NFL rules, so if it is pass interference, it'll be first down, spot of the foul.
Holding.
If it is holding, it's a 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
All right, look, for those of you out there watching the broadcast, it's important to know, because I'm sure at some point somebody's going to call us a homer. Yeah, that's correct. We are here from the Space Coast, and we are doing the broadcast on behalf of the Space Coast Tar Heels. But you know what? We got a lot of love for the Orlando Phantoms.
Absolutely. We got love for this game of football, and the fact that the Phantoms have quite a few Brevard County football players out means we have a little bit of love for them, but our love is still going to be with the Tar Heels.
That's right. So a big 1st and 10 there on 3rd down in Parsons now with the ball. 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. Nice draw, quick draw, Coach. They're going to pick up maybe one. I thought it looked like he had a little bit more than he did there.
Yeah,
great coverage.
The play was setting up to be a big play, but the pursuit out of the Phantom defense was relentless, to be quite frank with you. The linebacker comes up fast. There was a seam there. The Tar Heel offensive line opened up a seam, but the linebacker did a good job filling the seam and only gives us about a 1 yard. I'll tell you what, you definitely know I'm a homer for the Tar Heels when you look at what color shirt I'm wearing tonight.
Yeah, Coach, you got it. You got that Tar Heel blue on. That's right.
And to be quite frank with you, it's hard for a Vieira Hawk coach to wear that kind of color.
Yeah, because of the Rockledge Raiders. I get it.
I get it.
Carolina
blue is the same color for the Rockledge Raiders. That is our rival, so it is tough for me to wear that Carolina blue, but I'm wearing it to honor the Tar Heels tonight.
Under a minute to play here. Quick swing out there. That's a 1st down.
Good play call.
That's a nice play call, Coach. You're right.
Yeah, that's when you get a 3-by-1 set. There's 3 receivers down here, 1 receiver to the top of the screen. When you catch a team running man coverage, you run their single receiver off on a deep route, which means that tailback that is swinging to the single receiver side is covered by the linebacker. That is forcing an inside linebacker to run with a tailback, and 90% of the time, tailbacks are better athletes. They're going to be better in space, and it is a very good call.
Hey, Rodney, I can turn it down if the broadcast is too loud. All right, it is 1st and 10. Ball is on the about 17-yard line, so they're inside of the Mike Erdman Toyota Nissan red zone. 18 seconds to play here.
Closing in the end of the first quarter. They line up with a wide set again. Fade route to Mullins. And
touchdown!
Mullins, big catch for
Did he get that?
In the end zone.
He did, Coach. That's fantastic.
Good answer by the Tar Heels. I'll tell you what, the Tar Heels are very big at wide receiver. The one thing I do notice about our matchups tonight is the defensive backs for the Phantoms all are sitting probably around 5'11", no more than 6 foot tall, where the Tar Heel receivers, there's several of them, they're 6'2", 6'3". Great job with the Tar Heels answering for that one.
All right, so the extra point coming up, Coach, and this has been a problem spot for this football team all year long. It's 7-6 with 4.1 seconds to go, and even though this is an NFL extra point, I think we've only made one all year.
Yeah, this is where we've been struggling. It goes down again. Another struggle. Appears to be an odd snap again. Yeah, we're just struggling on the snap here. You know, every single time we line up for an extra point, the snap comes a little slower. The holder has a hard time putting it down. It frustrates the kicker, and we have to go. We have another fire call, and that's what the holder would be saying: fire, fire, fire. We just don't have an opportunity to convert there.
All right, Mr. Rodney says it sounds good. Okay, good. I'm glad. All right, this is what we're going to do. Your score is 7-6, and again, Coach, just problems in the kicking game. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the start of the second quarter. And get your thinking caps on, because we'll try to come up with something to do with Orlando Brevard coming up for the next trivia question for Frog Bones. Because even if you live in Orlando, it's worth the trip over to check it out. We'll be back after these words from our local sponsor.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to
All right, as we get set for the kickoff here following the Space Coast touchdown, quarterback Mac Parsons drives them down the field. The big play there, of course, was a third down defensive holding penalty that gave Space Coast a first down, and then a nice pass to Jimmy Kelly. So here comes the kickoff. And that's a live football. That is not a dead ball. He's got to pick that up or touch that. That is just a unbelievable play by the returner there. I'm not sure what the returner was thinking. That's Velton Brown Jr. I just don't understand that. That should be, unless I'm wrong, I thought they played by NFL rules. Maybe that comes out to the 20. Apparently it does. See what the referees are discussing here. That's a ball that should come out. They're killing us, man. I don't know what's going on here, Coach. They kick the ball off. Velton Brown in the end zone, kind of let it fumble around. He picks it up. He runs it out. He gets tackled at the 1. But I think the problem is they didn't switch sides.
Well, I guess we'll figure it out here in a minute.
Yeah, they didn't switch sides after the quarter was over. So they should have been kicking off the other way, would be my thing. It's 7-6.
But it does appear that they're a
Orlando
stand.
Yeah, so yeah, it's NFL rules. Oh, look, I guess he found the volume. Yeah, woo! They found the volume button on the music. Thank goodness. So I don't understand. I guess he thought maybe the ball would come out to the 20-yard line, but NFL rules state that ball can roll around the end zone and be picked up by anybody. It's a live ball, Coach.
Yeah, that's the one part that the adjustment some of these players have to make is understanding the NFL rules state it is a live ball until the ball goes out of bounds. The end zone is live. That's why you're able to take the ball out of the end zone.
I just saw a play the other day where a New Orleans Saint player did that. The ball was rolling around. The kicking team thought it was dead. They walked off the field. They never blew the play dead. The guy picked the ball up, ran it back for a touchdown.
Tell you what, the confidence of the Phantoms coming out in an empty set. They're going to throw a quick timing route across the middle of the route. Nobody was there.
Dangerous pass, Coach.
Yeah, we applied pressure. Fisher was blitzing. And again, DeJuan Fisher, one of the faster football players on the field, almost got to the quarterback, but the poise of Brown at quarterback is still evident because he was able to get rid of that ball before he took a sack in the end zone.
Would like to welcome in Rodney Robinson, Wilson Feliciano, Greg, I can't pronounce that last name, Matt Malone, Trevante Valentine is watching, and Daryl Joseph Gray Jr., who's winning. The Phantoms are 7-6 with 14:45 to play here in the first half.
Big Trey, I saw your Facebook page. I saw all the little dance moves you were doing on the for the Iowa Barnstormers page. Good job. You're looking healthy. I'm glad that you're up there being successful.
Congratulations, Trey. Iowa, right?
Yes, sir, Iowa.
You know who played for? I'll tell you what, that'll set up our next trivia question. 14:45 to play. There'd be a little Brevard, Orlando, some kind of connection there, right?
All right, what makes this dangerous in this situation here is in the shotgun set, one holding penalty by the offensive line here will result in a
safety. Yeah.
That's what the difference between the NFL rules. It will result in a safety right here with a holding play. It appears they're going to line up in an empty set one more time. They're probably, my mindset is they're probably looking at a quarterback run right here, if not a quick slant route out of the inside receivers.
That quick quarterback slant or run up the middle, the John Elway popularized that play.
Yeah, we're lined up in a five-man box once again, so we have a single linebacker lined up in the middle. The linebacker's walking up as it appears like he might be blitzing on this play. We're in a cover 2 look. It appears to be a hard cover 2, if not a cover 3 adjustment.
There you're right,
Quarterback
Coach.
right up the middle. I figured it was coming. Again, you can't stop a quarterback run when you have 5 players in the box, unfortunately, because, again, they have 5 blockers. They have, center, 2 guards, and 2 tackles to block our 5 defenders. The 2 defense ends get upfield, which is easy blocks for the tackles. The center works out and blocks the middle linebacker, and the 2 guards just have to block the 2D tackles, and it leaves the quarterback plenty of running room.
He did more than he picked up 7 yards on that one.
Yeah, it's
oh my God! I heard. Daryl Duran says hi to you too. I didn't even see Daryl was watching. I tell you, Daryl, you're a little too sensitive sometimes, son. 3rd down and 3.
They line up again in that empty set. Linebacker's walking up as if he's going to blitz. He drops back. Timing route, quick bubble route. Does not appear to catch
I don't think he's. Here comes a late flag. I don't.
Costly penalty by the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that's just a dumb penalty there. Yeah, I can only see the last 6 people watching, and if your name wasn't there, you didn't get called. So, my apologies if I hurt anybody's feelings.
I'll tell you what, that was only going to be a 1-yard gain at best, which would have brought out 4th and 3. 4th and 3 definitely would have been a punting situation. It appears that we have a silly late hit penalty by the Tar Heels, which is probably going to give your Phantoms a 1st down.
And that's the same scenario that we had down here, Coach, for the Space Coast Tar Heels. It was 3rd down, and they committed a defensive hold, which gave Space Coast a 1st down. So it's a 15-yard penalty, Coach, and not only does it free their backs of the shadow of the goalpost, but this actually gives them a legitimate shot to restart the drive.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have made, again, 4th and 2 was definitely a punting situation for the Phantoms, meaning we were going to get the football back with an opportunity to go up 7. That would have been a good turnover opportunity. Punting the football is a turnover in my mind, especially deep like that. We would have got the ball in possible Phantom territory. This is a crucial penalty, giving them a 1st and 10 on their own 26.
Boy, I sure would like to see Roger Walker come in and get a carry.
It appears right now Roger Walker is out there at the tailback spot. Roger Walker is a Brevard County product. He went to Bayside High School. He went to Marietta, and he was an All-American for them. He is lined up at tailback. Quick little stop route to the outside receiver, catches the football, and he gets about 6 or 7 yards.
So that's going to be, Coach said they've been doing that. It's the 4th time in the contest they've thrown either a quick in or a quick out. Do we got Laundry down again? Yes, we do.
Yeah, we got Laundry again. It could be a hold by the offensive line.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
That is also
30
going
yards of penalties that we have just gotten in the last 2 plays. Costly penalties.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got to keep your composure, and whoever it is committing these penalties, I'm not. They got to come out.
Yeah, that's momentum turned our way. We had Mo on our side, but now that Mo seems to be turning their way towards the Phantoms, we need to make sure we keep her poised, keep her control in this situation. Don't allow the Phantoms to get yards because of us. Make them earn their yards in what they do. They line up in a four wide receiver set with a tailback set to the right. Again, Roger Walker is your tailback for the Phantoms.
And we've got a flag down.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have a little fun. We're going to have a dance contest. We're going to turn this thing up. I ain't kidding. I ain't even coming to be playing.
$13:31 to play here in the first half, and the Tar Heels are shooting themselves in the foot. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms. They've got there on 30 yards of penalties. There's Roger.
So the first carry of the night for Roger Walker. Tries to get it outside. The pursuit. Fisher with the tackle, but there's another flag on the football field. That was a great tackle by Fisher. Roger's not a small running back. Fisher comes up, tackles him by the legs, prevents a big run from occurring off the edge. Appears to be a hold by the Phantoms. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty. Dropping the Phantoms back 10 more yards. They're going to repeat second down.
Holding on the offense. Y'all heard of juvenile, right? Bang that thing.
All right, now the Phantoms are going in the huddle. Brown back to the huddle. Roger Walker is still in the game, so I imagine it's going to be a 4 wide receiver set by the Phantoms as they take a little bit of time off the clock with their huddle. They break the huddle with a 4 wide receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Roger Walker is offset to the left of the quarterback, Brown. We're in a 4-man front. We're bunch set. This is traditionally called a wide bunch set where the receivers bunch in tight. This generally creates space to the outside of the football field.
He goes back. He takes off.
Brown has plenty of time to throw the football with a deep route to the outside.
I missed it.
Another 15-yard penalty by the Tar Heels.
There's 5 flags that went up there.
That was a late hit on the sideline. Tempers for the Tar Heels seem to be going a little on the south side right now. This is not common. I mean, the last
Coach, I don't understand. I don't understand why, Coach. I just don't understand why, because it's not a very physical football game. They had them backed up down here. I don't understand where where it's coming from.
No, I mean, the emotion of playing the defending champions is probably coming there, but the emotion's coming out in the wrong way right now. This is going to be 45 total yards of penalties in this drive alone. You go ahead and take these 45 yards away. Let's go back to the opportunity, the fact that it was 4th and 1 or 2 when we got our first personal foul penalty. We don't have to do it, to be quite honest with you. Right now we're playing good defense without it. That was a good job and a bunch set by the Phantoms finding that deep out, though. The one thing I did notice right there is Brown had plenty of time to throw the football. We didn't bring a lot of pressure up. They're lining up in the same formation, a wide bunch set. Walker offset to the right of the quarterback.
All right, 1st and 10, ball on the Tar Heel 39-yard line.
Drop back, swing pass to the right to Roger Walker. Roger breaks 1 tackle, goes down the sideline for about a 7 or 8 yard gain there. Right there, you're able to see the big physical ability that Roger Walker has. He's a big tailback. He weighs around 230 pounds probably. He's a physical kid. He was a physical runner in high school, and he appears to continue that physical prowess that he brought to Marietta, and now that he's doing here for the Phantoms. Again, I'd like to see the pressure come back out of the Phantoms. When we were bringing pressure on Brown, Brown didn't feel comfortable. When he doesn't feel comfortable, because he is a poised quarterback, he throws it away early for an incomplete pass. So we need to continue to bring pressure on Brown.
11:29 to play here in the opening half. Orlando ahead 7-6.
They're lined up in that same bunch set again. Roger Walker set to the right of the quarterback Brown, and we got a whistle before they're able to snap the football.
That's usually a pre-snap violation on the offense, Coach. And quarterback wants to know, I didn't see anything, Torrance Brown.
Yeah, but that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, bringing up 2nd about 9.
Delay a game, Coach. I don't see a play clock. I look like he got it off pretty quick there.
Yeah, the NFL rules, I think we got to remember it's 35 seconds from the minute the ball was spotted. No, I think with the 35 seconds from when the minute the ball was tackled. I'm not versed in my NFL rules, but I think that's what it is. And sometimes they forget that the clock starts once the tackle occurs. Bunch set again by the Phantoms. Walker set to the right.
Low
Same
snap.
Deep outs. They get a little corner route. The quarterback is flush with pressure. He has somebody deep. And that's
open touchdown. Coach, he snuck in behind. How does that happen?
Well, in those bunch sets, what happens in those bunch sets is because they're in tight, the defense tightens down with it, which allows those corner routes to open up. And now we got some kind of penalty in the end zone.
Oh, God, let him.
We got a celebration penalty.
No, I don't know, Coach. That could be a. That's Roger Walker and some of our county guys going at it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some tempers. The referee is waving off the flag. I almost think it was a celebration.
Is that what it is?
NFL celebration is allowed, and the referees are probably talking about that right now.
That's as you look down there, number 6 in the Cocoa helmet for Space Coast is that's Khalil Owens Sr., and the miscue by the secondary cost them 6 points.
Yeah, that bunch set it does create confusion. What happens if you're trying to run a man coverage scene in those bunch sets, because those receivers are bunched, you end up losing them on crossing routes. But also, if you tighten your defense down to equal that bunch set, that opens up the corner of the end zone also. And that's what happened. The corner route was there. They got behind the defensive backs, and they made a big play.
And Coach, I think it's important to point out here that the touchdown was caught by Velton Brown Jr., and I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. Here's the kick. It's up, and I don't think that's going to be good, Coach.
That's going to even things up for us if we score a touchdown. That is their first special teams mistake.
Thought he got a little too cute on the approach to the ball there and then pulled up there at the end. 10:35. Luckily for Space Coast, they missed the extra point, so they stay within a touchdown. Why that touchdown was important for Velton Brown Jr. Velton was the guy in the end zone that allowed the ball to run around, to roll around, and thus they got, starting field position at the 4-yard line. Coach, that's a 96-yard drive by Orlando. 45 yards on that drive. Personal foul penalties.
Yeah, no doubt. We contributed to the success of that drive with our penalties. You can't expect 45 yards of penalties on one drive and still be successful in that drive. We just need to calm down. It's early in the football game. Because it's early in the football game, there's plenty of time to try to win this football game. Let's go back to that theory and idea of fly guys to the football, give pressure like we continue to do, look for those turnovers, and offensively we seem to have a rhythm. So I'm not really intimidated right now with the fact that we are having a rhythm on offense, and I think we can match them.
All right, great music in the background. 13-6, 10:35 to play here in the half. Alan Slaughterzinski and Derek Smith with you, 87 miles from the heart of Melbourne, Florida, here at Lake Brantley High School. Coach did a heck of a job driving over. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm sure you at home can hear the music we have in the background. I need y'all to understand that music is about 17 inches from our ears. It is pretty loud, and I'm glad it actually was turned off. Ball's kicked out of bounds.
And really, I don't see anybody dancing. I don't even understand the need for it.
I agree. I think we're just trying to, the stadium's trying to bring a little entertainment value to the football game. I think the football game itself is entertainment value.
I get it. Coach, your entertainment value. Gina Liberto thinks you are absolutely the best commentator. Of course, your wife does too. Tom Palermo. They love listening to your broadcast.
I just have fun doing these games, watching these football games, being able to comment on them. It's a fun time, being able to sitting up here with you, Alan. I appreciate the opportunity to do this, and I want to be able to continue to do this on a very common basis.
Well, you're going to. But Coach, it doesn't come without a debt to the Brevard County community, which you are going to pay, and I should mention you volunteered for. We were asking for volunteers to do this, Coach, and you said, I'm in, and I'm going to tell you what Derek Smith volunteered to do this Wednesday right here on Space Coast Daily TV.
Once you guys find out, you're going to be questioning my sanity probably here in a little bit.
Look, I did it a couple of years ago and got out alive, so you will too, but barely.
All right, we got a 4-wide receiver set for the Tar Heels. Parsons is back there with a tailback offset to his left. He's going to take the snap. Hard count. Remember, it appears it's possibly going to be on the offense, because if that was on the defense, they would allow the penalty or the play to continue. When it is on the offense, they do stop the ball.
All right, so as the referee gives us the penalty here, and again, it's going to be a false start. I believe it's going to be a false start, unless there was contact made, right, by the defense. Then they blow the play dead.
Yeah, it's going to be a false start on the Tar Heels, bringing the Tar Heels back to 1st and 15. But the one thing I did notice, even though the play was whistled dead, we did have a receiver streaking down the sideline. Let's maybe possibly come back to that play. Maybe come back to that play over here on the right side or the bottom of your screen. Could be a good idea. I still like the timing routes that we were doing. The one thing I have not noticed, have noticed, is we are not trying to establish the run at all. We're going tick for tack in the passing game with the Phantoms right now. But it has been successful.
Your score is 10-18, or 10-18. Your time is 10-18. Your score is 13-6 as Parsons brings them back to the line of scrimmage. The center for the Space Coast Tar Heels is also the owner. Now, I understand Matt Parsons is also a part owner of this team, so you got the owners as quarterback and center. That's a neat little story.
Yeah, that is a neat story. How often are you going to see the owners as the quarterback and the receiver? There seems to be a little bit of jawing going down on the field.
It'd be like Robert Kraft snapping to Bill Belichick. Wait a minute, I probably shouldn't use Robert Kraft in anything.
Let's keep that one out right now. That is not a name that we should be speaking right now. He has got a little controversy going on.
Little controversy.
I am sorry for all you New England fans out there. Unfortunately, he brought the controversy upon himself.
Hey, sure did there. But anyway, Coach, coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you after this play. 1st and 5 now, so hey, Coach, we'll take it, right?
Oh, we'll take that. They're calling an encroachment by the defense. The defense made contact with the offensive tackle, and because of that, that is a 5-yard penalty by the Phantoms, and we now have 1st and 5. 3 wide receivers set to the left or the top of the screen. Quarterback takes the ball. Run play out of Davis. Davis finds the crease up the middle.
Look at this.
And we have ourselves about a 15 to 18-yard gain by Jaleel Davis.
Coach, that's why you are a head coach, because you just simply said we need to try to establish the run. There it is. What does establishing the run do?
By doing that, what happens is when you establish the run like that, you're causing your safeties to come up and make tackles. The more the safeties are forced to make the tackles, it opens up your deep passing game. If your deep passing game opens up, you're able to strike the defense with quick ones. We do have a great deep passing game, but it has to be opened up by a good running game or a good short passing game. We have a 3-by-1 set to the left, come right back to the same run. He has another seam. He cuts back for about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, you know what Vince Lombardi say? I say it every week because the Tar Heels seem to do that. Coach Rodriguez, look, run it till they stop it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, too many coaches, throughout every level of football, try to get fancy and call themselves out of a football game. To my mind is if it works, run it 1,000 times until it doesn't work. Quick passing game, bubble screen to the outside. Dropped ball. That was actually a really good call. If that ball is caught, that would probably have been about a 6 or 7 yard game, leaving us into about a 3rd and 1. Instead, he drops the ball. We now have a 3rd down and about 6 or 7.
Jesse Jones starting upfield without the football. You got to watch it all the way in. And I know the ball was behind the receiver, Coach, but that's a catchable ball.
That's a catchable ball. And I'll give you a quick little fact there. Jesse Jones, the individual that dropped the ball right there, was high school teammates with Roger Walker, the tailback for the Phantoms.
At Bayside High School.
At Bayside High School.
Who coached him, Coach?
Coach Smith, the person on this podcast, radio cast, internet cast, I get mad. Good timing route with an outside route, but that is going to fall about 1.5 yards, 2 yards short of the 1st down, bringing up a 4th down. And really, to me, this isn't a decision right now. Our kicking game is not successful. We've showed little to no success in the kicking game, so we're definitely going forward on 4th and down.
Right back to the line of scrimmage, Coach. And would you dare try to run that draw again?
I like the draw. I also like the hard count right here. Hurrying up offense and hitting a hard count could be a good call. I do think we're probably taking the ball to Jaleel Davis. There is the hard count we were talking about. Bubble screen out there.
Cuts in.
Finds the seam.
Oh, no, I think he got stopped, Coach.
It's going to be close.
He's short.
I'll tell you what, that was a very good tackle by the Phantoms defender. Caused the receiver to go backwards. If the receiver was able to fall forward, there was no doubt we have a 1st down. I think it's going to come down to a measurement right now.
I don't know, Coach. From here, see the yellow line on your screen there. I'm kidding, Coach.
He had me looking for in fact, not only was I looking for the yellow line on the screen, I actually looked down on the field as I was going to see one on the field.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, Coach. It doesn't. I can tell from here. All right, Coach. Here's the thing. Wednesday. No, hold on. We're talking about this first. We're going to talk on this first. So we asked for people who are willing to do this last week on the broadcast. If you were listening, who wants to swim with the Sharks? Coach Derek Smith said, I do. Each year to promote the Space Coast Seafood Music Festival, we ask for one individual who would want to get in the tank and swim with the Sharks. Now, I did it a couple of years ago. I told you my story last week. The guy gave me a selfie camera to take, and the shark thought it was a feeding stick and tried to come after me. That won't happen. But, Coach Smith, you are going into the tank Wednesday at Space Coast Daily Park to swim with the Sharks.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little nervous, but I'm looking forward to it at the same time. Without a doubt, I want to prove to everybody that a hawk is able to get in the water with a shark and be successful.
Coach, the only people that are going to see it is everybody in Brevard County. And, oh, by the way, News 6 is there because they get results. And hopefully the results of you in that tank are good.
My only hope is I don't do anything dumb, because what I've learned is the kids at our school are pretty good at technology. They take these videos and they can meme you. They can make these memes, and if I'm mispronunciating it, I apologize, but they make these memes, and if I do something dumb, I'm sure I'm going to have a Coach Smith meme with a shark. And I really don't
Coach,
wanna have
I got a feeling the meme was coming before you even get in the tank. This is a big defensive stand here for the Space Coast Tar Heels.
Yeah,
first
we
and
need this.
15.
We're definitely getting a rhythm on offense. Unfortunately, we were able to convert to a first down there. But now we got a first and 15. They're back to that bunch set that the Phantoms were successful with last series. You know, same routes. We got a timing route across the middle. Flushes the quarterback.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, Brown is doing a great job avoiding pressure up the middle. He got up the middle. He found the receiver streaking across the middle. That was the original receiver he wanted to throw to. He was forced to pull the ball down due to the pressure we had on defense, but that is still a successful game.
I don't want to tell anybody this, but that's an incomplete pass if we're playing NFL rules. The ball, he took the ball, caught the ball. He put the ball on the ground, turned and ran up the field. So that's and the reason it's a catch. As far as I'm concerned, it's a catch. But if you're playing NFL rules, that ball can't hit the ground like that until he possesses it.
Until he's
right, it's exactly right. Until he's done with his football motion.
Yep, he's got established possession. I'm fortunate for our Phantoms, but unfortunately for the Tar Heels, we don't have a replay system for the referees to go to. We do have an injured individual for the Phantoms that is being helped off the football field. Hopefully this individual walks away healthy after tonight. And
let me just tell you, it is our policy here on Space Coast Daily TV that we do not show injuries or players that are injured being tended to, and I apologize for that. And the reason for that is because we are not provided updates as the networks are on injuries. So if we showed you an injured player that might be a loved one, we couldn't give you an update, and therefore we feel like that's placing unnecessary concern on you.
Absolutely. Now, I will tell you, he did get off the field without help after the last 5 or 6 steps. He's sitting down right now on the sideline getting attended to by his teammates, but I think he's going to be all right. I think he just rolled his ankle a little bit, possibly.
Which is easy to do at any level of football. So it's second and a short one for the Phantoms. 5:59 to play. They've got the ball and the lead on their own 37-yard line.
Same bunch set. They're going to hand the ball off to the tailback up the middle. He's got a big hole. He breaks it for about a 7 or 8 yard gain for the first down for the Phantoms.
Looks like both of the middles of these defenses, Coach, can be exploited a little bit with the running games.
Yeah, what's happening, the reason why the middle is being exploited is both defensive ends on both sides of the football for the Phantoms and the Tar Heels, because they're seeing a lot of pass, are literally flying upfield. They're getting their pass rush set easy, which is leaving B-gap seams. Those 2 B-gap seams are open.
Tell everybody what a B-gap is.
Well, what happens is either side of the center is the A-gap. Then you go to the either side of each guard. On the right side, you have a B-gap. To the guard on the left side, you have a B-gap. And what happens when those defense ends get upfield, those guards are left alone with large seams, and then it allows a big crease. We have a blitz by Fisher up the middle, forces another fast pass, but the timing was there, and it's going to be about another 8-yard gain.
What a great play, Coach, by number 93 for the Space Coast Tar Heels to come all the way back. That's Rashad Payne, and I know Mimi, who I'm sure is watching. She was on at the start of the broadcast. There's Rashad Payne making a great defensive play. Now, unfortunately, he was 8 yards downfield, and all 3 defensive backs missed the tackle, but Payne did not.
Yeah, that was a great pursuit play out of Payne. Again, the timing routes between Brown and his receivers are spot on right now, because we had a blitz coming off the edge with Fisher. Fisher did a great job blitzing off the seam. But again, the timing of Brown, he was able to find his receiver for a good 8-yard gain. We got an empty set again. We're back to the empty set out of the Phantoms with about a 2nd and 1. This is an opportunity for them to try to throw the ball deep. We call this a waste down. He does try to throw the ball deep. And
intercepted, Coach. He's got a shot at a pick 6, Coach. He's down. He's at the 20. Knocked out of bounds at the 18. Then we got a flag. We got a flag, Coach. This could be on the return. But on the Tar Heel interception, Coach, is number 47, Mitchell Bracker.
17
on the interception? I'm sorry. Check that. 17. Josh Hartfield, Coach.
Yeah, that was a great interception by Hartfield. It went back to the Phantoms. Did use that as a waist down. On that waist down, they tried to throw the ball deep. Because they tried to throw the ball deep, that was an interception by the Tar Heels for your second turnover of the night. Unfortunately, I think this big return out of the interception is going to be called back due to a couple blocks in the back. Tempers are flaring from those blocks in the back. So we're going to nullify a good return, but the Tar Heels will take over the offense.
Yeah, Coach, the one place this year that I noticed watching a little bit of film this week, at least with the YouTube I could see on Torrance Brown, was he was having trouble getting over top with his deep balls. And as we've seen, not once tonight, Coach, but twice tonight, both of his deep ball attempts have been picked off.
Yeah, even though he's got really good timing on his short routes, it appears that his long ball is a little short, which is telling me his arm strength isn't there. That's why they sit to the short, quick passing game instead of the long ball. They're going to just keep being successful with the short passing game as opposed to going over the top. But also our DBs are good. They're doing a good job at high pointing the football.
3:55 now. We saw Matt Parsons execute this at about this point last week for a touchdown drive just before the half. 1st and 10 for the Tar Heels. They take over on their own 28-yard line. And, Coach, he's got a receiver wide open. Parsons gets it to him. Good pitch. Oh, it's intercepted. Did he take it from him? Or did they say he was down? I'm thinking he was down, Coach.
I don't know. This is where I really would like to flip our camera around, look at the replay.
Here.
We caught the football. We're looking at the replay right now. He hits the ground.
That's not an interception. That ball, he's down, Coach. Oh, they ruined Orlando Phantom football. Coach, he was tackled. Unless the DB got in there and we couldn't see it, it will officially be an interception, and that's a terrific play by the defensive back not to give up on the play.
Yeah, he didn't give up on the play, but I think the situation we're running into is this. The receiver caught the ball. He hit the ground. The receiver is down by contact.
Yeah, that's not an interception.
On top of him. I think we got a homer call. Fortunate I don't get fined by the NFL in this situation. That is a bad call.
That's a horrible
by the referees, taking away a big play opportunity from the Tar Heels. I like the play call. I like them going deep in that situation. Go deep after turnovers to try to strike the defense. It was a good call. Bad call by the referees there. Unfortunately, that's going to cause a turnover by the Phantoms. I don't like it at all. I'm going to say it one more time.
Yeah, they blew it.
Call by the referee.
Yeah, they blew it. At the head coach, Mark Lucas, there on your screen. He was on the field just a second ago trying to plead his case. Yeah, that's a bad call.
Yeah, both coaches right now, defense coordinator, Coach Dye, Mark Lucas are on the field. What I will say is
they're owed an explanation.
You're not going to change the referee's call. They probably should leave the field before this turns into a 15-yard penalty. The one thing is you don't want to add yards to this with a 15-yard penalty.
I'm going to say this too. Even though it's a bad call, Parsons had him. He was 5 yards past the DB. Hits him in stride at 6 points.
Yeah, without a doubt. One thing we still need to look at, it is 13-6 with 3 minutes. We can go into halftime with a close game, though.
Yep.
First time we've seen him really roll out now. He's going to roll out. He has nobody. Throws the ball out of bounds.
And, I got to tell you, as you talked about earlier, we gave a stat before the game that Orlando has beaten Space Coast the last 3 and done so by the margin of 108-28. But as you said, the scores have gotten closer. Last year they beat them 36-0, and then in the conference championship game it was 28-6. That was a hard-fought conference championship game in which Orlando pulled away at the end.
One thing that I am noticing, though, the confidence level of the Tar Heels is going higher and higher as this game remains close as we go in close to halftime.
And you look at some of the comments, laugh out loud, there's that home field advantage, bad call, he was down, very bad call. All of you are correct.
Let me LOL myself. That was a homered call. Timing route, stop route by the inside receiver. We do have a solid tackle that's going to bring up third and about 6 yards.
Space Coast has got to be careful now, okay? You definitely want to make sure the guy's down, but you can't lead with your head like that. They got away with one there. 3 minutes to play here in the half.
No, we don't need any penalties right here. I'm going to be confident on the Tar Heel defense. The reason why my confidence has come with this, The short passing game is the only thing they're successful at. He has not proven that he has a long ball. I do not think he throws a good long ball. Every time he's tried to throw a long ball, it's been an interception by the Tar Heels. We can tighten our defense down a little bit to avoid the short passing game, but right now, put some pressure on the quarterback, force a fast throw, but don't let nobody behind you. And we got to cover 2 safeties right now, both safeties slightly outside the hash, so I do not think we're going to give up the long ball.
2 minutes, 30 seconds, and Orlando's going to take a timeout, and so are we. We'll be back after these words from Mike Erdman, Nissan Toyota.
There's no better time to buy a car than Mike Erdman Toyota.
And now that we're located at I-95 and 520, we make it even easier for you to save. Mike Erdman Toyota is now only 20 minutes from wherever you live. Come in today and see our huge selection, or go to MikeErdmanToyota.com to unlock our best price. Plus, every new Toyota is backed by the Mike Erdman Toyota Family Plan, including 4 years no-cost maintenance and complimentary loaners.
And remember, Mike Erdman is Toyota. Every day.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to SpaceCoastSeafoodFestival.com for showtimes.
All right, the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this half will be brought to you by All Points. All Points is a dynamic, award-winning service-disabled, veteran-owned small business with experience that demonstrates the performance to provide low-risk, competitively priced service and compass capabilities in program management and logistics.
Yeah, the Phantoms lined up in another empty set. They streaked their receivers down the field. Another catch.
Wow. What a patience.
Yeah, it was because of the legs of Brown. Brown stepped up in the pocket when he had pressure. He made a few people miss inside the pocket, found a streaking receiver across the middle of the field, was able to make that catch. It appears that, Fisher was able to keep up with him, but it was a great pitch and catch by the quarterback, Brown, to his receiver.
All right, we had an injured player down. He's up and off the field already, so not that injured. But you're right. I do like the pressure forced that we're starting to force on the Phantom. So it's 1st and 10 now, though. That was a good play by Brown. The ball is going to be on the Phantom 40, what is that, the 42-yard line, Coach?
42-yard line.
With 2:02 to play. So what are we taking a timeout here?
2-minute warning.
At 2:02?
2-minute warning. One of the little things I'd like to see, if it goes back to the Super Bowl, the Rams did a great job of bringing inside pressure to Tom Brady in New England. I'd like to see some inside pressure from the Tar Heels. Brown is doing a good job stepping up in the middle of the defense every time he gets pressure from the edge. It'd be a good opportunity to blitz the middle linebacker through one of the A-gaps, and when Brown steps up, maybe get a big sack through the A-gap.
I'd also like to ask, make sure I got this done right. Okay. I'd also like to ask everybody for your medical needs. Florida Space Coast's largest orthopedic medical center of excellence, located right there on US 1, South Harbor City Boulevard. First Choice Medical Group: arthritis, arthroscopic knee surgery, carpal tunnel, fractures, herniated disc, hip replacement, joint injections, joint pain, knee replacement, knee surgery, orthopedic surgery, rotator cuff repair, shoulder pain, sports industry, I almost made it, sports injuries, and sports medicine. First Choice Medical Group, located at 709 South Harbor City Boulevard. And let me tell you, their staff is fantastic. At First Choice Medical, the staff aims to provide every patient with the highest quality health care. If you have any questions about the insurance policies that they accept, please give them a call. They are a proud partner with many major insurance carriers that help you afford the health care you need. First Choice Medical Group, 321-802-5850. All right, Coach, what do you do here? You go back to that You go back to that short passing game across the middle. You got 2 timeouts
They're going
left.
to go back to the short passing game, no doubt. That's their bread and butter, the little quick 3-step drop timing game. Our bread and butter needs to be a little bit more pressure up the middle. I'd like to see either a blitz up the middle or those defensive tackles. They need to show more pressure up the middle to try to get their hands up, to keep Brown from stepping up. There's a third.
Oh, there it is. Third interception of the half. No flags. Or do we? Yep, no flags, Coach. And this time, with 1:52 to go, who got that?
I'll tell you, it's the inside linebacker. It appeared to be 25 or 45. Again, I'd have to look at my replay.
If it's 25, it's Jaleel Davis. If it's 45, Coach, it's Horace Davis. So let's just say it was a Davis.
It might have been a Davis, without a doubt. But I'll tell you what again, it's a timing route of Brown. Brown stepped up through the ball in his timing. The inside linebacker stepped up and made that. And if anybody out there watching TV can correct us on who that made that interception, feel free to do so. We are now lining up in a 4 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Single back set next to Parsons. Parsons is going to call his cadence with Davis set left to him.
1:52 to play here, 1st and 10. Parsons has been your quarterback.
He has a dragging route by the outside receiver across the middle. Safety comes up and tries to make a big hit, but the receiver brung more to that. You know, the receiver brung more to lunch than the safety did. That is a first down with 1 minute and 36 seconds on the clock. We are going in a no-huddle zone, trying to get fast to the ball.
Lee Robinson on the catch there. And, Coach, you talk about the battle of these two teams. The Phantoms are the number 2 ranked team in the league, and the Space Coast Tar Heels are ranked number 4.
Right now, these are 2 evenly matched teams that are getting a nice little timing route going on their passing game. Wide receivers open down the sideline, over the top.
Oh.
Dropped ball.
You got to keep running.
Yeah, Cam Stroud tried to time that a little bit, tried to go over his shoulder. He appeared to slow up slightly. The ball over his shoulder went through his hands. That was a missed opportunity to at least have the ball inside the 5.
Look, I'm going to say this. That is the toughest catch in football to make, the Willie Mays catch over the shoulder, Coach. You just got to – and the correction, nobody I ever saw play the game corrected that better than Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens had that step where he turned, Coach, from avoiding to having to do that to shoulder catching the ball.
Yeah, that stretched out over-the-shoulder pass is one of the hardest to catch. He did make a good effort at the ball, but unfortunately it goes through his hands. We line up in the same set. I almost would come up to the same thing. We got a little draw play to Davis.
Love the play.
Big hole up again. He's going to get about 9 yards out of that play. I don't know if he gets out of bounds, though.
I do know he delivered a heck of a hit at the end of that play there.
Yeah, he does not get out of bounds, I don't think, forcing us to possibly call a timeout. We're looking at 3rd and about 2.
Clock is stopped, though, with 58:8 to play. 3rd down, 2. Obvious 4-down territory here, Coach. What do you do here, Coach? I throw one across the middle. You got 2 timeouts.
You know what I like right here? I like this 3-by-1 set they're lined up in. I throw a swing pass to my tailback off the left-hand side to the single receiver side.
Me, I'm going back to that slant pass across the middle to the one that started this drive. Parsons, he can't get away.
Parsons makes somebody miss. And that's a big penalty by the Phantoms. Phantoms are going to get a roughing the passer call. What I like there, Parsons being hurt or not, he did a good job avoiding pressure up the middle, but more importantly, he threw the football away. He didn't force an interception. He threw the football out of bounds, past the offensive tackles, draws the roughing the passer, which is going to be an automatic first down for the Tarheels.
Yeah, no, that's great stuff right there. And, of course, that moves the ball 15 yards on the roughing the passer penalty. And, Coach, 13-6, I got to tell you, the way this thing started, I was a little bit queasy for the Tar Heels. But you know what? They have an opportunity here with no foolish mistakes to go into this thing tied up. And the clock is running, so Parsons has got to get them back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what I liked about that play also is if it goes back to that swing pass, they're bringing inside pressure by both middle linebackers. The middle linebacker is the one that's responsible for covering the tailback in that defense formation. The tailback was wide open on the swing pass. Parsons didn't notice him do the inside pressure, so I think at some point during this drive, if we come back to that swing pass, it could be wide open for a touchdown.
Let's see who's watching, Coach, while we have a quick second here. We've got Trevante, Valentine, Trey is back, Stafford, Slaughter, Tyrone Giscombe. Coach G is watching. Coach Tyrone is watching. Gil Lavin. Allen, the score is 13-6. Orlando. And Steve Wilson of the Friday Night Locker Room is watching. And, of course, where would Brevard County sports be without Steve Wilson and Orville Susong?
They do a great job week by week when it comes to high school athletics. They find their way all across Brevard County calling high school athletics. They do a great job at it. Coach T, good to see you out there. I know we had a good track meet today. When you get a chance, text me the results of the track meet because I'd like to see how our boys did. Big Trey Valentine, again, I want to say hi to you out there in Iowa. And let's just see what the Tar Heels got bringing to the table here with 43 seconds left on the clock.
Craig Spencer, is that Deputy Spencer, Brevard County Sheriff?
That would be Craig Spencer, coach for the Cocoa Tigers.
Yeah. Okay.
Tyrone, we are in the second quarter with 43 seconds left.
All right, your score is 13-6. Orlando on top here. Alan Slaughterzinski. Vieira Hawks head coach Derek Smith with you live from Lake Brantley High School here in Orlando. The only road game of the year we bring you.
All right, they line up in a wide set, quick timing route to the outside. We do get out of bounds for about a 5-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line with 43.6 seconds left on the clock.
All right, at least, Coach, and I hate to jinx this, but I know we're at least in an opportunity where if we have to, we can try for 3 here. Of course, this broadcast tonight is brought to you by the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, and the festival starts Thursday. That is, of course, we'll see what happens with Coach Smith Wednesday in the Shark Tank.
Tell you what, I like the draw here. The run that they've been doing with Jaleel Davis, I think it's a great call on this opportunity. Especially
it's a touchdown. They do it right here. It's a touchdown. That's my call.
Swing pass by Davis to the right side. Timing route across the middle.
Touchdown!
Is that Jones that caught the ball, number 7?
I think that's Jimmy. Is that 7? Yeah, it is 7, Coach. Eric Sewell.
That was Eric Sewell. Sewell with the catch for the touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think Sewell was a Palm Bay High product.
Well, Coach, we've got us a ball game, 13-12 with 39.6 seconds to play here. And, you know, Coach, I'd almost say go for 2.
Yeah, our kicking game, I mean, and no offense to the kicking game, but it's really been gross. There's no other way to say it. We haven't completed very many extra points.
Coach, I think they are going to go for 2 here. They're going to take a timeout and talk about it. While they take a quick timeout, we are going to take a quick timeout following the, 17-yard touchdown pass from Matt Parsons to Eric Sewell here from Lake Brantley High School. We'll be back after these words.
In a world, one man, one woman, in a battle of imports.
We've sold Toyotas in Brevard 25 years.
We've sold Nissans in Brevard for over 27 years.
An amazing battle between 2 dealerships in a winner-takes-all challenge. The winner, you, the customer.
When it comes to Nissan, Mike Erdman is the bottom line.
Oh, come on. Mike Erdman is Toyota.
All right, welcome back to the campus of Lake Brantley High School, home of the Lake Brantley Patriots. Good football program here, Coach. They got a good one here. And, all right, it's 13-12. I'm going to set the table for you. Parsons threw a 17-yard touchdown pass to Eric Sewell. And now, instead of trying an extra point in which the Tar Heels have only made 1 all season off the foot of Garcia, why not go for 2?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity right now for the Tar Heels to go into the halftime with the lead. They're lined up in a 2-back gun set. Generally, this means it's going to be a zone play, probably giving the ball to Jaleel Davis. They give the fake to Jaleel Davis, try to find a timing route to the outside, and that is a dropped ball by the tight end. Joshua Tyson, the defender comes up and knocks the ball out of Joshua Tyson's hand.
Coach, I'd almost have to try to go find me a high school kid to kick on Saturday night.
Yeah, I do think the rules for this league state you have to be graduated from high school, but I would probably go ahead and try to find one.
Yeah, I would try to do something here. All right, with 35.7 seconds to play, it's 13-12. Orlando by the skin of their teeth are barely on top of the Tar Heels, 13-12. All right, Coach, I promised a second quarter trivia question. I'm going to do it. Coming up in the NFL draft this year, five Cocoa Tigers, Coach, are eligible for the NFL draft. The first person to name all five of them will win a gift certificate good for 1 hour of shooting at Frogbones Family. We're reading comments as we do this as well. At the Frogbones Family Shooting Gallery located in Melbourne. Who are the five Cocoa Tigers that will have declared themselves eligible for the NFL draft? The first person to give me the correct response will win that gift certificate. And if you were our first quarter winner, you cannot win again. How about that, Coach? 5 Brevard County kids.
That's a great opportunity, especially the fact that all 5 of those individuals played on the same football team at one time.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be long before we get that answer because I know we got a few Cocoa Tigers on the site right now, so we should probably see that answer pretty fast.
Before halftime, you got it. Let's kill it.
Deep kick.
Ball's taken at the 5. He's got a little room, but quickly was not gathered. Oh, he breaks it. Uh-oh. Woo! That was close. What a great return there, Coach.
Yeah, he made quite a few people miss, showed his speed down the sideline, and fortunate for the Tar Heels, stepped out of bounds on the 45.
That is number 1 there. That's Velton Brown Jr. on the return. And look, Coach, with 33.1 seconds to go here, they got a little bit of life.
33 seconds, timing game that they got means they're going to have to get the ball to receivers. Receivers need to get out of bounds. They do have a chance to put the ball in the end zone. The one thing is, again, I'm going to go back to the fact that I'm not seeing a very good deep ball, so we could keep the ball in front of us and keep the ball from getting in the end zone.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. The Phantoms with the ball and the lead, 13-12, 33.1 seconds to play here in the first half. Alan Slaughterzinski, Derek Smith with you. Now we'll disconnect for halftime. Not disconnect. We'll take a little break because, we got to do our thing at halftime too. And we'll be back with about 4 minutes to go. And hopefully somebody will have all 5 Cocoa Tigers headed to the NFL draft. I can tell you, Coach, it's going to be a special year because we'll talk about it when the answer comes up.
Phantoms line up in that empty set. They're looking for the down the middle. Interception by Witherspoon.
Nearly picked off.
I'll tell you what, if he holds on to that football, he probably does take that to the house to score a touchdown. It's a missed opportunity right there. One thing that, most coaches teach their defensive backs is you go back and look at statistics. Drops, interceptions sometimes end up turning into touchdowns for the offense. Hopefully we do not see a converted touchdown by the Phantoms here.
Yeah, no, you don't. You definitely don't want to see that, Coach. Not, at this time of the game, a touchdown likely puts them up by 8. Okay, and it's a 13-12. Well, we'll probably put them up by 8, 20-12 if they get the extra point. But the momentum. What did you say about Mo? Who was it telling me about Mo?
One thing about Mo is once Mo gets on your side, he becomes your best friend. And we don't want Mo to go ahead and switch over to the Phantoms because right now Mo is sitting on the sideline of the Tar Heels.
Who is Tiffany Hopkins says, Horace Davis, mom watching from Tennessee. There is Craig Spencer. Now, I'm going to tell you, Craig Spencer shouldn't be eligible to win, right, Derek?
Well, we didn't claim the rules.
I'll give it to Coach.
People miss. Pressure, he finds a receiver. Almost intercepted again by the Tar Heels.
That was Jimmy Kelly over there.
I'll tell you what, the Tar Heels are doing a great job of bringing pressure. They're not allowing the Phantoms to come up with a quick, easy touchdown. Right now in this situation, I'm pumping the Phantoms. I'd take a knee, go into halftime with the lead and be happy with it.
Craig, I'll tell you what, Coach Spencer, I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'll give you the gift certificate. You got to throw their last names up on the screen so everybody can see them.
Did he get all 5?
Of course he got all 5. I'll give you the gift certificate. All right, well, we're going to give it to Jimmy, Taylor, Garner, Johnson, Dean, Freddie Booth. Jimmy Jenkins, you win. Coach said he doesn't want it. Jimmy Jenkins, you are the winner.
All right, we got a QB draw real quick up in the middle.
That ain't going anywhere.
It's not going to go anywhere, but I think they did that in order to run the clock.
Run the clock out, right, yeah. All right, so that's going to take us to the end of the half with your score. Orlando 13, Space Coast 12. And that... yeah, that'll do it. That'll take us to the end of the half. All right, let me see who got it. Actually, you know what, Tiffany? Okay, Jimmy Jenkins, you are the winner. That is Jawan Taylor, Chauncey Gardner, Johnson Dean, and Freddie Booth, all headed to the NFL draft. Coach, that's amazing.
Absolutely, and again, they were all great players. I tell you, the one that's really surprising me is the numbers that Booth is putting up. Freddie Booth is showing that the big boy can move. His 40 time was pretty impressive.
Yes, it was. Of course, the NFL Combine concludes tomorrow. And, Coach, this would be an extremely unbelievable year. Think about it, because if Gardner, I think Taylor is going to be a first-round pick, okay? If Gardner can get into the first round, the tail end of the first round, and within a calendar year, Coach, we will have had 2 players. Last year, Carter Stewart and Mason Denenberg went in the first round of the Major League Baseball draft. We would have 2 players in one calendar year get drafted in the first round of the MLB draft and 2 players drafted in the NFL draft. I would ask you to look anywhere in this country and tell me where you could find that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And if we could just call Montverde up and get one of their probably first-round draft choice basketball players to come over, we could probably have a three-sport.
Yeah, no question about that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, to have 2 first-round draft choice pitchers was impressive to start with, and then all of a sudden you throw Chauncey Gardner on there, who does have a first-round choice. Possibly there could be a great year for Brevard County athletics.
And I know after talking with the Denenbergs, Mason's doing great. Carter, of course, you had that stuff the Braves are notorious for. They like to pull. All Carter Stewart did he said, you know what, see you later. I'll go back in the draft next year. And a start the other day for Eastern Florida State. He tied the school record with 15 strikeouts and pitched a 1-hitter.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had an issue with his hand there at all.
Nope.
I know there was some issue saying that an old injury to his hand or something
he was
concerned with. But I tell you what, I have seen no issues with his hand on that curveball. His curveball seems to be spinning better than anybody's.
Falling off the table.
In a long time.
You're falling off the table. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll recap the first half, look ahead to the second half, and talk a little bit of football. You're watching the Space Coast Tar Heels and the Orlando Phantoms here on Space Coast Daily TV. Your score, Phantoms 13, Tar Heels 12. We'll be back.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to SpaceCoastSeafoodFestival.com for showtimes.
Some homemade soup. I'm feeling pretty good, and that's the truth. It's neither drink nor drug induced. No.
Well, now the devil went down to Georgia and he's looking for soul.
But we realize that the most high divine is around and inside us. Then we can set how we want, but we're on so
In a world, one man, one woman, in a battle of imports.
We've sold Toyotas in Brevard 25 years.
We've sold Nissans in Brevard for over 27 years.
An amazing battle between two dealerships in a winner-takes-all challenge. The winner, you, the customer.
When it comes to Nissan, Mike Erdman is the bottom line.
Oh, come on. Mike Erdman is Toyota.
All right, welcome back to Space Coast Daily TV as we get squared away here for half number 2. The Orlando Phantoms on top of the Space Coast Tar Heels. Your score 13-12. And Coach Smith, what are your takeaways from the first half?
Both offenses seem to have a very good rhythm going. The one thing I will say, the Orlando Phantoms have the better short passing game. They are very good at their timing routes. The one thing is I don't see them throwing over the top very well. Every time they try to throw the ball over the top of the defense, the Tar Heels came up with the turnovers that we expected. The one thing I would like to see out of the Tar Heels, though, is every time they ran the football, it was pretty successful. There seems to be a lot of seams up the middle on the defense of the Phantoms. I'd like to see the Tar Heels expose that with the running game, which will open up the deep passing game. That is where the Tar Heels are better than the Phantoms, is in the deep passing game.
Let's do it.
Well, Coach, we were talking about that defense and about putting pressure on the quarterbacks in the second half. And, you know, look, it was the pressure that the Space Coast Tar Heels defense applied on Torrance Brown that allowed them to come up with 3 picks.
Yeah, without a doubt. The pressure's coming out of the defensive ends, but Torrance Brown also does a good job stepping up in the middle. We're not getting the pressure from the middle of our defense that we are used to. So if we apply a little bit more pressure up the middle as a defense, that doesn't give Brown the opportunity to step up, which I think, again, return will create more turnovers. Right now we're at 3. We're going to get our 4.5 average, I think, tonight. Because I do believe we have at least 1 more, maybe 2 in our bag.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you, do you want to change your prediction to one of your keys of the game? You said that they needed 3 turnovers to win. They got them in the first half, but still trail. How many more do they need this half?
It's still 3 turnovers. If we were capitalizing on the extra points, we'd be up right now 14-13. If we were up 14-13 going into halftime, defense wins football games. I still think we're probably 1 behind. We need 1 more turnover in this second half in order to be able to secure a victory. I do think we do have a possibility of a victory coming to us, but again, it's going to take the same rhythm that we had in the first half offensively and the pressure by the defense in the second half.
I'd like to welcome Stanley Domino Jr., the announcer here tonight. So Space Coast gets the second half kickoff. And back deep, it looks like, Coach, that who we got back deep?
Witherspoon's back there, I know, as one of the return men. He's been one of the return men all year. And we're eventually going to get him to turn around and show us the jersey of the other individual back there. Number 19 is the other return man for the Tar Heels. Number 19. That's a new guy for us.
I don't know.
I haven't seen 19.
Check here. I got the highlighted roster, the special one. That is Jesse Jones.
Jesse Jones, a Bayside product.
Yep. All right. As the Phantoms get set to kick off here, and we get set to start half number 2 here on Space Coast Daily. Grab your favorite beverage and settle in for what should be a pretty good second half.
Ball is kicked deep, back to about the 3 to 4 yard line, received by Dedrick Witherspoon. Witherspoon's looking for a crease up the middle of the field, finds one down the middle, makes one defender miss, but he is wrapped up and tackled around the 30-yard line. But there is a flag on the play.
That's usually in the area of holding, Coach, so chances are the Space Coast Tar Heels will have the ball 1st and 10 from about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it will be on the Tar Heels, knocking us back half the distance possibly to the goal line, starting us first down around the 15.
Once again, make sure you make plans next weekend to attend the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival at beautiful Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira, located next to the campus of where Coach Smith is pretty familiar with. That's Vieira High School, and we'll be there on Wednesday, actually. Myself, Giles Malone, and Derek Smith will be there as well as he gets into the tank with the Sharks.
I'll be swimming with the fishes. I guess that's what they would say. Hopefully,
well,
I'll
let's
walk
hope
away
you don't end
unscathed.
up swimming with fishes, but you're okay with the Sharks. Actually, it's a spot foul on the hold, so it's going to be 1st and 10 now. It's a 20-yard penalty, Coach, because it would have been 1st and 10 from the 30. So Matt Parsons comes back. He had a pretty good first half, Coach. He only had that 1 turnover, and that was a horrific call.
Yeah, again, costly calls here, but they're back in a wide set, single receiver. There's the first run of the night for 19.
Jesse Jones.
I don't think it was Jesse.
You say 19?
Sure. Let me see who carried the football right there.
Oh, I thought you said number 19.
16. Number 16 carried the football. 16 or 15.
16 is Matt. Well, that's the quarterback.
Travis Lindsay.
Travis Lindsay. There you go.
Travis Lindsay carried the football. His first carry for the night. Hurry up set by the Tar Heels. Looks for a bubble pass to the outside. Makes the first tackler miss, but good pursuit out of the defense for about a 2-yard gain. We're looking at a 3rd and about 8.
Coach, you know what impresses me about both of these football teams is that generally at this level, the tackling technique and the one-on-one on the outside is sloppy. It's very sloppy in the NFL. But both of these teams, Coach, they tackle well in those situations.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're putting their bodies in good position. They're not diving after the football. They're breaking down. They're tackling with their shoulder pads, and they're driving through the football as they make the tackle.
13:45 to play here. We just kicked off the second half. Tar Heels trail 13-12, but they have the football. This is 3rd down and about 7 now for Parsons and company.
A little hard count. Draws a quick little pass. Deep receiver down the sideline. Tries to jump and make a play, but a receiver drops the ball for an incomplete pass.
Is that a free play?
Bringing up 4th down. I do not see a flag on. Yes, we do have a flag, so it was probably a free play. Smart job by Parsons trying to just throw the ball deep, maybe getting something out of it.
Last week at this time, the pads were off for Parsons as Space Coast was well ahead in that game over the team from Tampa. What are they? The Reapers.
The Reapers last week, yes, sir. One thing I'm noticing are big receivers. We don't have our big receivers out there for the Tar Heels right now. We're missing Kelly. We're missing Mullen. We're missing our big boys. I'm not sure if we're giving them a rest so they're healthy in the 4th quarter. But Davis is now reported back in as the tailback, so this is a good opportunity to hand the ball off to Davis and maybe get the first down. One thing, if you see Davis is lined up slightly behind the quarterback, which means it is a possible running opportunity. 4 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, as we're figuring out the snap here in a minute.
The penalty allows it to be 3rd and 2 instead of 3rd and 7. 13:28 to play. Tar Heels trail by 1.
Motion by a wide receiver to a 3-by-1 set. 3 receivers to the right, 1 down here to the left. They're handing the ball off to Davis. Davis is going to fight forward for about a 3-yard gain for a first down.
And that's a good call, Coach. I like the motion on that. It just makes the defense think for a split second, Coach, that maybe that bubble screen is coming. It forces them at the snap of the ball to just read and react a little slower.
Yeah, again, that's one of the keys, I think, to the second half is trying to remain successful in the running game. If we can remain successful in the running game, I do believe we have a chance of definitely winning this football game.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. We're lined up in a 4 wide receiver set. New tailback is checked in for the football game for us. Generally, when he's in the game, number 34, Jordan Spoonhour, he is the pass receiving tailback for us. They try to hit a deep receiver down the sideline, and it is incomplete, bringing up 2nd down.
All right, Coach, since we checked back in at the half, Stanley Domino Jr., Craig Spencer, Joey Anomo, Gino Liberto, and Jared Baker is watching, Coach.
Jared Baker, congratulations on the year you had, Jared. I really look forward to watching you play for the University of Central Florida Knights. I think you're going to do a great job for them. And also, great job being the young man you are. You did a good job of fighting through adversity and showing us that if you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. And I know he's going to do a great job for the UCF Knights this year as a skill position player.
Hell of a track star, too. What a play, Coach.
Out across the middle. Receiver catches. That's a nice catch across the middle for a first down.
Who caught that? What number was that? Number 88? 22. Number 22 for the Tar Heels, Coach, is Rashad Hamilton.
23. That's 23.
23. Check that. 23 is Robert Spoonhour.
They roll up their jerseys, making it hard to tell who it is.
And these lights don't help.
3-by-1 set again. We got 3 receivers to the right. Tailback swings left. You have a timing right. That's got to be a pass interference.
There it is. There comes the flag. What's he complaining about? My goodness gracious. If that happened outside of Lake Brantley Stadium, he'd get a citation.
Yeah. From snap to the point where the ball was thrown, he had his hand in his back pocket. It was like he was reaching in there trying to find his cell phone. He was so tight into that back pocket.
Yanni Eckley wants to know the score. It's 13-12 Phantoms on top here. 12-10 to go here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 now for Space Coast following the penalty. What's that, a spot foul, or what did he call?
That should be an automatic first down. That's pass interference. Should bring out an automatic first down. Ball is going to be marked on the 41. Jackie
Maldonado. Hi, son, number 37, Quincy Paquette from Texas. Welcome to the broadcast.
We'll line up in a 4 wide receiver set one more time. Tailback offset to the left. I do believe we're going to continue that passing rhythm for Parsons. He drops back, fakes the bubble, throws a deep route down the sideline.
That's
interception by the Phantoms.
That's a bad ball, Coach. He has to see that defensive back had position nearly the entire route.
Yeah, what that is there is you fake the bubble looking for the deep route. We call that play a CUDA play. What happens in that situation is when you go to throw the bubble, if the DB has stepped forward to attack the bubble, then your deep route is there. The DB stayed back, therefore the bubble should have been the route to throw. He forced the long throw. Interception down the sidelines by the Phantoms.
Yeah,
crucial mistake.
I know what that is, Coach, and I can relate as a former quarterback. You're just looking downfield, seeing one-on-one coverage, and you want it all day.
Yeah, without a doubt, but quarterback, if you're going to do it, you got to throw it where the receiver can get it. That means high and down the sideline over the receiver's outside shoulder. Unfortunately, I was thrown a little short and to the inside shoulder of the receiver.
All right, so the Orlando Phantoms forced their second turnover tonight, and they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line. 11:30 to play. Third quarter, they've got the ball and the lead. Their quarterback is Torrance Brown, and he hasn't had a good night at all, Coach. He's thrown 3 picks.
Now they're coming out with underneath the center. This is a new formation by them. They're shifting to a 2 tight end set with 2 split receivers. Brown is under center with Roger Walker behind him as a single back.
That's false
appears
start.
to be a miscommunication. Brown tried to hard count it, which allowed his guards to jump off sides. It's going to be a loss of 5 yards for the Phantoms.
Yeah. So the Bayside High product, Coach, Division III All-American Roger Walker in the backfield now for Orlando. And tell us a little bit about Roger.
Roger is a great young man. For us at Bayside High School, he was a power runner. He was a West Melbourne product. In fact, if Daryl Duran is still logged in, I know he played West Melbourne football over there, where Daryl was part of the program for a long time. He was a power runner for us, went on to Marietta, where he set a lot of Marietta's rushing records, where he became an All-American as a power runner there. He does have enough speed to break it, but he is known for putting his shoulder pads down and running you over.
I know when Roger came home last Christmas, I missed an opportunity to sit down one-on-one with him. There's the pitch to Walker.
Toss sweep out to Roger. He gets stretched out by the defense. The one thing I will tell you, the announcer just said it, the defense is stingy. The one thing about this Tar Heel defense is they do not tackle with one football player. They bring 3 or 4 football players to the table when they tackle. The one thing about Roger, though, you need 3 or 4 football players to tackle him.
I don't agree with the call, Coach. I'm not talking about the penalty because this is going against the Phantoms. I'm talking about you got to, like you said, you got to run him between the tackles. And to know both of these defenses really, the success on them came up the middle, both of them in the first half. There's too much speed in that linebacking core to run east and west.
Absolutely. If you're going to be successful running the ball against this Tar Heel defense, it's got to be between the tackles. By running the ball between the tackles with a big back, you do have a chance, but to try to get the big back to stretch on the perimeter wasn't there. Fisher did a great job running them down. The DN did a good job stretching that play to the outside and allowing the rest of his defense to show up.
All right.
Now, because of the penalty, we're looking at about 1st and 20. I do believe this is probably a pass coming to us from Brown, but again, their passing game is based on quick routes. So I don't see anything other than a quick route. Draw him up the middle for Roger. Roger pounds the linebacker. Gets about 5 yards.
Space Coast was ready for it, though, Coach. They weren't fooled by the play call. Look, the last time that Space Coast had Orlando in this predicament, they committed 3 personal foul penalties. That's 45 yards, Coach, and it cost them a touchdown. Orlando went on to execute a 96-yard touchdown drive.
Absolutely. Right now, I think Space Coast needs to understand is, look, you got 2nd and 20 or 2nd and 18. Just keep the ball in front of you. Don't get burnt deep, which it has not happened tonight. Allow them to catch the ball in front of you with a short 5-yard play. 5 or 6 yards still brings up 3rd and 2 sticks, 3rd and 12. We're in a good situation right now defensively as long as we keep the ball in front of us.
9:30 to go. Orlando on top, 13-12 here. Looking at second and still about 20. Oh, nice slant pass, Coach. He's got speed to burn. Breaks a couple tackles, and he gets all the way out across the 50 into Space Coast territory. Coach, no flags down. That's how you pick up 20 yards.
Yeah, it was a timing route, slant route across the middle. Receiver caught the ball. When he caught the ball, he split 2 safeties for a big gain. That is an unfortunate miscue by the defense. I'm not sure who was supposed to be covering there.
Was that Velton Brown?
Yeah,
that number 1?
Yeah, it was Velton Brown again across the middle. He shows that he has the speed to split the defense.
Boy, not only did he split it, Coach, he cracked it, mauled it, ran over top of it.
Yeah, he definitely shows that he's probably the fastest player on the football field right now. That is the guy I'd be paying attention
That's
to.
4.3 speed right there he just showed on the field. That's
Looks like they're
offsides.
going to have a free play by the Phantoms. Brown rolls out. Good pressure by the defense. They are going to get a sack, but I think this sack is going to be nullified by an encroachment foul by the defense end for the Tar Heels, giving the Phantoms probably a 1st and 5.
So it's 1st and 5 now. And remember, this drive began, or at least because of penalties, got all the way down to about the 14-yard line, and now it's 1st and 10. We're probably looking at 1st and 5, and the ball will be spotted on the Space Coast 36-yard line. 8:32 to play, 3rd quarter. 13-12 now. Orlando on top, Coach. And I feel Mo is changing jerseys from Tar Heel blue to black and some sort of pewter orange.
Mo has flipped his jerseys without a doubt, flipping it over. But, again, the Tar Heels, all they need is one big defensive secondary play to be able to stop this. A little pressure up the outside. Defense end's going to slip. Again, the same slant route by Brown across the middle. Where they're finding a little soft hole in this zone with the slant route.
Yeah, I mean, they're just falling in, Coach. And here's the issue I have. Where's the pressure we saw late in the first half from Coach David Dye's defense? We don't see it right now.
What's happening is the DNs are doing a good job of putting pressure. There's little to no pressure out of the D tackles, though, and Brown is stepping up. And every time he steps up, it allows his vision to be downfield. And when it's downfield, he's finding that hole in the middle of the zone with that little deeper slant, and that's what's opening up right now.
All right, back-to-back first downs for Orlando. They just converted a 1st and 5. Previous to that, they had converted a 2nd and 18. 7:26 to go. Orlando on top, 13-12. They are inching ever so closely to the Space Coast red zone. Another offsides. That's going to be another offsides,
Delay
Coach.
of the game, I think, happened first.
Is that what it was?
Delay of the game by the Phantoms. That happened first, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Phantoms, bringing up 1st and 15. I do believe they were going to try to run the football between the tackles right then. They didn't, so it's going to bring up 1st and 15 for the Phantoms, and they're probably going to go back to that 4-wide receiver passing set that they usually have been in the roast of the game and try to look for that timing route.
Boy, Torrance Brown was none too happy with the official on that one.
No, he got caught, not calling his offense on time. But, again, the NFL plays with a little bit of different rules. They start the clock the minute the ball is downed by the offense.
So it's 1st and 15, 6:40, fast-moving 3rd quarter. Orlando, the ball, the lead on the Space Coast 33. And the give is to Walker up the middle, and Walker picks up 3, maybe 4, Coach, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, it's even though it's a run of 2 or 3 yards, I think what they're trying to do is get the linebackers for the Tar Heels to step up, opening up that soft hole in the zone that they've been exploiting in the last couple passes.
All right, what's the stoppage here?
We're looking at
The referees are gathering. I didn't see any laundry on the field, but apparently personal foul. That's going to go against Orlando. So this is working in opposite. I didn't see the personal foul play here. Let's see, Coach. We've got a little lag delay, so let's see if we can pick it up.
Yeah, it's the Phantoms now seem to be shooting themselves in the foot. This was the kind of the same situation we had in the first half where we had 3 personal fouls in a row. This is a great opportunity for the Tar Heels to come up big now with a second and about 25.
That's a lame call, Coach. As I watched we're a little delayed here from the actual camera to what we're checking it out. That's a lame call. It was a little push in the back, not much, but still, you've got to keep your composure. 6:10 to play as the clock continues to run. Orlando now finds themselves in a 3rd and, 23, 24 predicament, Coach.
Last time in this situation, they found Brown Jr. crossing a middle, and he has the speed to split the defense. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to come back with a very similar play right now.
The middle's wide open.
He breaks out to the side. He throws it up, and he catches it. And
He gets out of bounds, Coach. He picks up probably, I don't know, what did he pick up? 15 of those yards?
15, but the DB was given a little loose coverage, but it was smart. He knew that there was a long way to go to complete for the first down. He kept the receiver in front of him, knowing that he had plenty of room before the receiver can get the first down, allowing themselves to come up to a 4th down.
You know, Coach, I'm going to be honest with you. If I am the offensive coordinator here, I'm obviously, we're going to go for this. I'm putting the ball in the end zone because if it gets picked off, it's as good as a punt. You just got to tell your guys in the huddle, be ready to tackle, So I take a shot here.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with going for the end zone. Ultimately, I wish you had a kicker. I mean, in this situation, you can try to put a free 3 points up there, but I don't think either team has the capability of doing this.
All right, 4th down and 15, Coach. 4:49 to play, 3rd quarter.
4 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Quarterback takes a snap. He's looking for the deep route to the end zone off the left side. Incomplete pass. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
No flags, and that will the ball will be turned over on downs. And I don't mind the play call. I would have liked to see another receiver over there. I think if you're going to do that, you've got to put more than one downfield.
Yeah, or try to go down the middle of the field also. Again, I just don't think the quarterback has the arm to throw those deep routes down the sideline. I think he's got a better chance. All of his successful passes have been down the middle of the field.
Yeah.
That's where I try to keep striking the defense, especially the fact if you look, we got 2 deep safety. When you have a 2 deep safety, the hole in the middle of the field is going to be there, especially both safeties are playing outside the hash, favoring the sideline as opposed to the middle of the field.
So Velton Brown Jr. on the last drive for the Phantoms converted the big 2nd and 20 or 2nd and 18, unable to get the ball on that long yardage situation. And now Matt Parsons and the Tar Heels offense take over with 4:39 to play. They trail by 1. They've got the ball on their own 35.
4 wide receiver set, tailback swing to the right. He's got a little bit of room and miss, but good open field tackle by the Phantoms, bringing up for about a 3-yard gain.
And there's that open field tackling again, Coach, that we talked about just a little while ago. The one thing that if you're a running back or a wide receiver, Coach, the first thing you're telling your guys on a play like that is you got to beat one guy. You don't have anybody out there blocking for you, so you got to beat one guy.
Yeah, and I like it, though. Ben,
I do, too.
The tailback there, J.J. Ben, is a very elusive runner as they hand the ball off to him up the middle.
Love that play.
He's got a lot of speed. He was down on contact, bringing up about a 3rd and a 1. So he gets about 5 or 6 yards on a run up the middle. He's a little bit different runner than Davis. He is more the lightning, where Davis is more of the thunder. They're going back to the running game. Again, I like the running game out of Tar Heels, and I think we should keep up with it.
No, I agree, Coach, and I like it up the middle. As we discussed earlier, Orlando tried to get Walker outside. Not there, not going to be there. And the same thing applies for the Orlando defense. You can't run east and west on that type of speed. But the Tar Heels turning Ben up the middle.
Yeah, the creases have been there up the middle. Both guards for the Tar Heels are big-bodied guards. They have a good job firing off the football, creating creases. We're now in a 2-back set. Last time we were in a 2-back set, we were in an outside zone play, handed off to Davis. Davis is offset back to the left. They do hand the ball off to him. He tries to cut it back.
He doesn't have it.
No, he doesn't have the first down. We're looking at probably 4th and inches.
I'm going to take a timeout and talk about it, Coach. That's for sure. Because I like the way my defense is playing right now, minus the one play to Brown Jr. on the last drive. Coach, this is 2:45 to play. You trail by 1. If you punt the ball here, the kicking game is not good, so I don't even know what the punt game looks like.
No, I think that makes your decision a little easier because the punt game has not been very successful for the Tar Heels, so that's probably why they're going to go for it here on 4th down. I'm going to go back to my own philosophy. I like going for it on 4th down in this situation only because your defense is playing strong. They line up with 3 wide receivers to the right. Jaleel Davis is the back, offset to the left. They're going to hand the ball off to him.
I do not. He's going to get
it. His speed gets it, though.
He's got it, Coach. He turns the outside.
I'll tell you what, we are lucky that we did not get a personal foul call right
We
there.
did get a personal foul call, Coach. There's the flag.
Silly.
Well, Coach, and to be fair, the player also deserves an Academy Award.
Yeah, there was definitely a flop. It definitely looked like they were playing European soccer.
He made LeBron James look silly.
Yeah, that was definitely a soccer flop to me. But again, you can't even put yourself in a situation. The ball passed you, and since the ball passed you, you got the first down, and you're gonna do something like that.
That's the second time in this contest that Space Coast has cost themselves. But, Coach, having just watched that play, that to me was – I'd have thrown the flag on the defensive guy for a bad flop.
Bad acting gets you a flop.
That is what it is, Coach, and you got to keep your head. It is a first down, though. It's a dead ball foul.
Penalty because it is a dead ball penalty. We do get the first down, but we're looking at first down, where as opposed to having the ball around the 50, we're now back on our own 36-yard line with a 1st and 10.
All right, 2 minutes to go here, third quarter, 13-12. Orlando on top, Space Coast with the ball. Parsons, nobody in the backfield.
3 receivers set to the left.
There you go. We like to have some fun. Oh! Yeah!
Defensive lineman puts the ball up. Now, what I want to notice is we go back and look at this play, though. The swing route out of J.J. Bin to the top of the screen. The single receiver is at the top of the screen. Nobody was there for J.J. Bin. If Parsons would have noticed that, thrown the swing route to the top of the screen, we could have had a big play right there.
Coach, let me ask you this. It's obvious that Matt Parsons can't get out of the way. I don't know for whatever reason why Orlando hasn't exploited that this evening. But here's my question. Is it time for Ricky to come in? Ricky Kelly? Ricky Rivers. Is it time for Ricky Rivers? I mean, he's got feet, he's got legs, he can throw the ball. We saw that last week. Coach, he can make some plays.
I think he creates something with his legs. I might give him a chance for at least a series, see what it looks like. But Parsons is doing a good job with his timing routes throwing the football. He finds his big receiver to the outside.
Of course, as soon as I say that, that's going to happen.
Yeah, Jimmy Kelly with a big catch. It doesn't hurt maybe for a series. Bring him in for a series, see how the Orlando Phantoms react to it. If they make an adjustment to it, bring Parsons back in. If they don't, you might get something going here.
Parsons is a good quarterback. My concern is his mobility with the knee. I mean, if there was no problem with the knee, I wouldn't even be talking about this.
Awesome game. I mean, it's full of hitting.
Great football game. 1 minute to go here in quarter number 3. Again, I keep repeating the score because we don't put it on the screen, so don't have that capability.
They checked in Travis Lindsay. Normally when he checks in, he is the tailback they throw out of the backfield to. Good deep open out route, timing route. It's going to be a first down, about an 18-yard gain out of the Tar Heels.
All right. So I stand corrected. All right, that's number 13 there for the Tar Heels on the reception. That's Kevin Linsefort on the catch. And, Coach, they're back to that hurry-up, as you alluded to.
Without a doubt. If you look down on the sideline, you'll see Mo is running up and down the sideline.
Tar
Heels right
Mo
now.
he's changed his jersey again.
He is changing his jersey a lot tonight. Again, we're set up in a 4 wide receiver set. Tailback offset to the left. The tailback checked in now is Spoonhour. Spoonhour steps up and blocks. Little miscommunication, it looked like.
I didn't know where the ball went.
It looked like he was expecting the receiver to hit a go route, but his receiver in the inside slot ended up doing a deep out, and it was the outside receiver that hit the go route.
In typical quarterback fashion, Coach, I put the camera up, and I'm lefting and righting it. I thought he had it. He was wide open down there.
He was, but it was miscommunication somehow. Again, we're going back to it. I do still think Mo's on our side. Second and long. We're probably going to line up in a wide set. 4 wide receiver set. I don't see who checked in at tailback. Generally, the tailback is telling us who's going to have the football. Spoonhour looks like he's the tailback. Generally, when Spoonhour is in, he is the blocking tailback for the passing game.
I apologize to our viewers on that last one there. I thought the ball was in the air. Looked like it was.
As he steps back, he has a deep stop route. Good
That's
catch.
A catch.
That's
a catch. He got inbounds. Couldn't see the play because of the players on the sideline for Orlando. But that's a third down now? Or is that a first down?
It looks like it's bringing up a first and 10.
First and 10 now
Just get
for
past the
Orlando. And that's the end of the third quarter. So we'll get reset here. We'll switch sides. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter. Your score after 3 quarters of play, the Orlando Phantoms 13, the Space Coast Tar Heels 12. We'll be back after a word from all of our sponsors.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to SpaceCoastSeafoodFestival.com for showtimes.
All right, welcome back to Lake Brantley, Florida. Alan Slaughterzinski and Derek Smith with you here as the Space Coast Tar Heels and Orlando Phantoms, two of the better teams in the Florida Champion Football League, are squaring off here. The Phantoms with the lead, 13-12, but the Space Coast Tar Heels are threatening. We just heard an oldie but a goodie, didn't we, on the radio?
Moving on up.
Moving on up. The Jeffersons. I love that show. All right, first, go ahead.
I know they were playing that song to try to hype up the Phantom crowd, but I think they were really playing the song to show that we got momentum on our side.
We got momentum on our side. Matt Parsons now. Pump fake throws. Little corner route. End zone. Oh!
Good idea. Good job. He pump faked with a little bubble route into the long go route. Just could not connect. He did, by no means did he give plenty of effort to try to get that ball. We were just about inches short of connecting on.
I want to say this, Coach. That's probably one of the best passes of the last 2 weeks that we've seen Parsons throw. And maybe, I know it doesn't get complete, but he puts it where only his guy can go get it.
Yeah, that was the ball we were looking for on the earlier drive when he threw that interception. That ball now was only where the receiver can get it. The receiver had to lay out and have an opportunity to get it. If that same ball occurred in the last drive, we probably don't throw that interception.
14:53 to play here. I got to tell you, Coach, I love the effort of the Tar Heels in this one. 1st and 10, ball on the 25-yard line. Parsons from the shotgun. Jimmy Kelly split wide to the right.
Jaleel Davis in. They hand the ball off between the tackles to Jaleel Davis. Jaleel Davis gets about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
I'd stay right with it. Coach. See what Davis
down
does.
In this situation, why not? Davis is a strong runner. The one thing, though, about not only is he a strong runner, he does have the speed to where if he gets a crease, he can break it.
And not only that, this time of the game, Coach, you know what? Look, honestly, I mean, you can wear defenses down by leaning on them with a good back like Ben.
Yeah, right now, the defense appears to be slightly tired. Go ahead and hand the ball back off to him because this is 4-down territory without a doubt. He drops back, looks for a timing route to the outside to Kelly. Kelly's immediately hit by the defensive back. We only get maybe 1 yard, 2 yards out of this, bringing up about a 4th and 4.
That's Jimmy Kelly. That's Jimmy Kelly's 5th catch of the night. He's got 5 catches for 62 yards tonight, and I believe a touchdown.
Right now, what do we call? It looks like we're bringing our field goal team in.
Oh, I don't know. All right, Coach. Here comes.
The sigh you just had, fans answers that question. Oh, he sounded like Charlie Brown and doing that.
Look, and Alex Garcia's got a hell of a foot, Coach, and that's not my thing. The thing I have here is Cam Stroud can get this down. I mean, this is no kind of distance for Garcia. He can hit this, but can they execute all 3 phases of this?
All 3 phases. Snap. Oh, it looks like we're going to go off sides, which is we're going to add 5 yards to this kick.
I don't know.
Which brings back
I'd go for it now.
Now, if this was on the defense, this could bring up inches. This could bring up 4th and inches. They're calling it on the defense.
Wow.
A first down or 4th and inches.
I think they're short, Coach. They got to be inches short.
It's going to be interesting because the ball's right about the 5-yard mark. The ball is on the stripe. The first down marker is on also the stripe. Where located on the stripe, I don't know. So it's going to be real interesting to see whether we're at a 4th and inches or a 1st and 10. I'll tell you what.
First down. He calls it a first down.
Good. Crucial mistake by the Phantoms.
What a veteran play by Parsons on the hard cam. Cam Stroud, the holder.
Yeah, that was a good job by Cam Stroud on the hard count, getting the first down by the Phantoms drawing off sides.
Cam Stroud started the year as the Tar Heels quarterback, and once
Davis is in the game right now at the lone tailback. Generally, when Davis is in, we like to hand the ball off to him between tackles. I think it's a good idea right now. Little timing route to the outside, corner route, touchdown!
Yeah, he got him in, Coach. Touchdown, Space Coast.
Little corner route by the inside receiver. Beautiful ball by Parsons. Put it where only the receiver can get to it, and a touchdown.
Best ball he's thrown all year, Coach.
Yeah, the rhythm he's starting to show he's getting a really good rhythm going right now. Like I said, Mo is wearing a Carolina blue jersey right now.
Kevin Ritzeford with the 23-yard touchdown pass from Matt Parsons, and pending the extra point, Coach. It's 18-13 Space Coast.
Yeah, we're up by 5. This extra point is I can't even say it. It's probably the most crucial extra point they have in the game.
Are you dead?
And they need to hit this just to make it a 6-point lead.
I thought, is your phone dead? Oh.
He couldn't get into my phone because he does not have the same fingerprint as me.
Oh, see, technology. All right, Coach, 13:01 to play here in the fourth quarter. Space Coast, nice drive by Parsons there. Look, it was aided by a penalty or two, and, of course, Ben on a couple of hard runs up the middle. But your quarterback is your general, and Parsons directed that drive.
Yeah, that's a good drive by the Tar Heels. Right now is a very crucial. They're going for 2. They got to be going for 2 because the bottom line is getting the extra point here with the field goal only puts you up by 6, which means an extra point and a touchdown by them. You still lose, so you got to go for 2. To me, being up by 5 or being up by 7, there's a huge difference in the game between those two numbers.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm snapping the ball here, and Jimmy Kelly, quick turnaround, bang, right at the pylon.
That could be a good idea. Jimmy Kelly's a big physical wide receiver.
Right.
He mismatches the DB on the outside. I also, again, don't mind handing the ball off to Jaleel Davis up the middle. He's pretty good for getting those 3-yard runs.
I wouldn't do it directly. I'd like to see a little bit of a draw, if indeed that's the call.
Yeah, definitely. With a little bit of draw, allowing those DMs to get upfield a little bit first.
All right, so looks like it is going to be 2 as Parsons returns to the field here. They're 0 for 3 this year on 2-point conversions, 0 for 1 in this contest. Big 2-pointer here, 13:01 to play.
They come out in a tight end set, looks like 2 tight end set, 2 backs in the backfield. They have their fullback along set to the right. Jaleel Davis set to the left, meaning if they do hand the ball off to Davis, it's going to be to the right side. It's
get in.
Gets to the outside.
He's in, Coach.
Touchdown or 2-point conversion.
That's huge.
That's big. Good cutback by Davis. Davis is a pretty talented football player, guys. We need to see the ball put in his hands more often. That's going to put us up by 7.
It is 20-13, you guys.
20-13, Coach, following the extra point there, the 2-point conversion. 13, still a lot of football left. And look, the Orlando Phantoms have won 6 semi-pro minor league football championships. They've got one of the best programs, Coach, in the country. They finished 2018 as the number 2 ranked minor league football team in the United States. So this is not over.
No, without a doubt it's not over. They have a very productive offense with timing. But right now, I'm telling you, Mo has put his Carolina blue jersey on. He is sitting on the sideline with the Tar Heels.
Momentum.
The Tar Heels are excited. They've been playing very good football all night. And the one thing you will notice, if you look on the sideline of the Phantoms, they're getting destructive with each other. They're getting very destructive with each other, and that generally carries on to the football field.
Yeah, no, you see a little bit of arguing going on down there. The coaches are having to get the guys back. Hey, I guess you don't want to see it, but you can hear the helmets slamming down on the metal benches. As Timothy Broom wants to know what number is Jaleel. I'm assuming you're talking about Jaleel Davis. He's 25.
25, Jaleel Davis.
13:01 again. The time remaining. A 7-point Space Coast lead. One of these teams will be dealt their first loss of the FCFL season as we get set for the kickoff by Alex Garcia.
Good kickoff.
Great kickoff.
He's going to field the ball at the 3. Patient run up the middle. This is one of the fastest football players on the field. He's got a seam. He's going to take it to the house.
He's gone, Coach.
He's taking it to the house.
No flags. He's gone. And that's exactly what you got to fear with a guy like that. We talked about his speed on the last drive, Coach. That is Velton Brown Jr. with a 93-yard, check that, Coach, I'm sorry, 95 6-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And momentum, Coach, is standing at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, momentum sitting in his pocket is what it is. The one thing I will tell you, that is the fastest football player on the field. I'm looking at it like this. Do not kick the ball to the fastest football player on the field.
It was a great kick.
Yeah, great kick, but great kicks don't work when the fastest football player on the field gets it.
Jimmy Jenkins, you won a 1-hour gift certificate at Frog Bones Family Shooting Gallery on US 1 in Melbourne. I will message you after the football game tonight. Actually, I'll probably message you in the morning and let you know how you can pick up that gift certificate, or give me your address and I'll drop it in the mail to you. A 1-hour free range session at Frog Bones Family Shooting Center in Melbourne, Florida.
Yeah, if you're looking at the comments right now, a lot of people are saying, oh, man, that was bad. You're right. Fans out there watching this game, you are 100% correct. Do not give the other team momentum by kicking to their best player. In that situation, I would rather see the ball kicked out of bounds.
Right.
The one thing I will say about the Phantom offense is I don't think they have the firepower to beat us on deep routes. Since they don't have the firepower to beat us on deep routes, don't give them the firepower by putting it in their best football players' hands.
All right, there is nothing good about what just happened, but here's what will happen that could make a difference, Coach, and that is, barring a turnover on the kickoff from Orlando, that defense for Orlando has to go back out on that field. That was a long drive by the Tar Heels last time. And this defense, they're upset with each other right now. Something's not meshing.
No, Orlando was over here arguing with each other. Their defense was after that touchdown by the Tar Heels. They're going to be fatigued when they go on that field.
Yeah.
I don't think that touchdown changes the anger that was happening on the sideline. Parsons needs to go out there, be patient, keep that same rhythm they had in that last series. Let's go with the little run, little pass, little run like they were doing. And let's just go ahead and be patient and put the ball in the end zone again.
Somebody asked what Velton did. Well, all Velton did was just return the kickoff, the ensuing kickoff following the Tar Heel drive, 97 yards for an Orlando Phantom touchdown. It's 20-19 now. Coach, their kicker, who we both like to start the game, has missed an extra point tonight.
Yeah, he kicked one shallow tonight, missed one. He is definitely on the bubble right now, has to hit this extra point to tie it up. Let's hope we get a miss here or we get hard pressure out of the Tar Heel defense. I really don't know what the discussion is by the referees right now, to be quite frank with you. Obviously, this discussion might determine whether the ball gets moved backwards or not. I am definitely interested to see what they're coming up with. If there's any viewers out there, somebody asked, what did Veltri do? If you can tell me where he played his high school football at, it would be really nice.
All right, Jimmy. I'll go ahead and send it to you. Welcome back to the broadcast. Daryl Duran, I don't want to get in trouble. Darshawn Ford, sheesh, that's my son. Well,
looks like they're moving the ball backwards,
yeah,
which means this is going to be a
it's a long extra point. This is huge. This is a 40. It's going to be a 47-yard extra point.
I will say, watching him kick the ball during warm-ups, he does have a strong leg. It also appears that they had a good snap and holder earlier. The last kick that he did attempt, though, he kicked a little bit on the ground, causing a short kick.
They danced to the ball a little bit. That's what we were talking about. It was just unusual to his approach to football. I'm not sure. Look, I certainly hope this is not a penalty for celebration. And look, smartly, you've got a Tar Heel. I was going to say they should put a guy under the goalpost, and there he is, because this can be returned for 2 points if you're playing NFL rules, which they do.
NFL rules, that ball is allowed to cross the end zone. When it does cross the end zone, as long as he catches in the field of play, he can return it. And it looks like it is Dedrick Witherspoon back there putting his heels on the back of the end zone to make sure if this ball is short, he has a chance to return.
Every time I see this now, Coach, I think of Auburn and Alabama now.
The Iron Bowl when they take it back to win it. I know that if Coach Shannonville was watching, that was a great moment in his life watching that Iron Bowl return.
Yes, it was.
Auburn Tigers to beat Alabama that year.
All right, I don't know what the holdup is here. I really don't, but I know they have significantly slowed what was a decent moving game down. It's not like, Coach, you got to drive 80 miles back to Orlando or back to the Space Coast.
I know what it is. As coaches, whenever a penalty gets called, we want like a thorough explanation of what happened. We'd like the rule books to be brought out. Sometimes we need some interpretation. It takes about 19 coaches down there for fans to interpret what's going on. I don't know. I mean, it's something about us coaches need interpretation.
Yeah, I hear you, Coach. I've seen you and the gang out there before as well. That's funny.
What it is, really what it is stall the football game right now to get your defense.
Right, that's exactly right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, sure. And that's a great ploy. If I'm Mark Lewis, I'm upset. I'll kick the ball.
Yeah, I promise you, I know what it is. They're stalling the game right now, which is really intelligent to allow their defense to rest. Either that or we're misinterpreting the rule somehow.
Yeah, but anyway, it's 20-19. It seems like it's been 6 years since Velton Brown Jr. returned the extra point, 96 yards for a touchdown. 12:41 to play here in the fourth and final quarter. Space Coast clinging to a 1-point lead pending the extra point. And I want to take the headsets off and yell, "Let's go!"
Yeah, again, I don't know what the conversation is right now. The referees are discussing with each other. It appears that he's on a cell phone.
Are you kidding me?
No, the referee is on the cell phone. He must be calling somebody for rules interpretation.
The league is here tonight. I do know that. The FCFL, the league officials are here tonight. This is the highlighted game of the week here tonight, and you're seeing it on Space Coast Daily TV. And you know what, Coach? It is living up to its hype.
Yeah, this is definitely the game of the week. I mean, for that big return, it brings the excitement back into the game. Flip momentum from the Tar Heels over to the Phantoms. If you look down on the sideline right now, they are discussing, the defensive coordinator of the Phantoms is discussing his game plan with the Phantoms on the sideline. As we sit here with a long delay, we're resting the Phantom defense. If I'm on the other side, I'm not happy with this situation. But obviously there's some sort of interpretation going on because he's got both coaches in the middle of the field. The white hat does, explaining to them what's going on. Once we know what's going on, we'll probably tell you.
I would love to see these officials get outfitted with microphones.
Yeah, it'd definitely help us get more explanation up top of what's happening right now. But as of right now, we do not know what's going on. I can just tell you this. The ball was marked back 15 yards, which tells me there was some sort of personal foul for the extra point. Then there's a discussion between the referees and the coaches or about the 40-yard line on close to our side of the field.
I think they threw a celebration flag because the players flooded onto the field. You can't do that. Regardless of the celebration, I'm all for allowing players to celebrate, but you can't empty the bench to do it.
Yes, the celebration in the NFL has to be with the players on the field. Players from the sideline are not allowed to celebrate.
Right, and I think that was the case here. So we're going to see what happens if the ball gets walked forward.
Now it seems the referee's explaining it to the players on the field, what has occurred. That way the players on the field are aware. They are the captains, so they know what's happening, and they're going to mark the ball and get ready for the extra point, which now they are kicking the extra point from their 30-yard line.
So all of that and the ball stays where it is, and it's still a 47-yard extra point.
All right, Mimi, here you go, gal.
Yeah, this is a big kick for the Phantoms right now.
And
This is an opportunity to tie
Witherspoon
the game.
is underneath the goalpost. If he hits this, Coach, that's got to give Orlando a big boost to know that your kicker has got his confidence back after missing the earlier extra point. Because you know what? This game could come down to a foot.
Yeah, without a doubt. So this is actually a good opportunity to see if your kicker is ready to bring it to the end of the game with a field goal.
And the Phantom is going for.
So we line up for the snap. Good snap. Good hold. Ball's put down. Looks like it's going to be short again.
No good.
No good. No good.
Just
Kicker is about a yard shy of making that field goal.
1 yard, Coach. 1 yard. And you know what? Had the ball gone up, it looked like Witherspoon would have knocked it away because you could do that.
Yes, it's blocking a kick from the line of scrimmage or way back there on the goalpost. It's still blocking.
The only thing you cannot do is propel yourself over another player.
You cannot use another player's body as a launching point, so that's the only thing you cannot do to block kicks.
All right, so let me set the table for you here real quick. It's 12:41 to play. We're in the fourth quarter. The Space Coast Tar Heels lead this thing 20-19. So the script has flipped compared to where it was for most of the second and third quarters.
Yeah, and the one thing is there is plenty of time left in this football game for both teams to put points on the board. As Alan sits there looking at my phone has about 6 to 7 minutes of power left. So we will not see very many comments in about 6 minutes.
No, that's for sure. However, have no fear because Allen has come through. You got a cord?
No.
I do.
Did not bring my cord with me, and I was told to be reminded of it, but did not have
That's
it.
okay. Christina, he didn't bring it. Does that work? Did we try that before? See if that works for you. Nope. All right. Does not work.
So 7 minutes of power left on my phone. Dietrich Witherspoon gets the ball deep. He shows a little patience, sees a crease up the middle, finds that crease, tackled around the 36-yard line.
All right, two things are paramount now here in the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead on the road. First thing's paramount, don't turn the ball over.
Absolutely. Don't turn the ball over in your own territory right now. The Tar Heels have had a pretty good rhythm running the football combined with the short passing game, opening up the long ball. Right now, I would go back to that little rhythm of short pass, run between the tackles, short pass, run between the tackles, and eventually it'll open up the long ball. I don't force the long ball right now. I go back to that rhythm they had earlier.
All right, here we go, Coach. The Tar Heels will take over 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. And so you say you're sticking with the run here?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the run. I think Jaleel Davis has done a great job running the ball between the tackles tonight. Why not continue to give him the football? And eventually it's going to open up Kelly or Mullins, one of those guys, big receivers he's got on the outside.
And you don't want to go 3 and out either.
No, you definitely don't want to go 3 and out and give momentum back to them. We have a different back checking in the backfield right now. That looks like J.J. Ben is checked into the backfield. That is their faster running back out of the two guys. Little bubble route to the outside.
Fooled me.
Get about 5 or 6 yards out of that bubble route to the top of the screen.
Great fake. Fooled the cameraman. I'll have to have a conversation with him.
That's all right. The cameraman is allowed to get fooled occasionally. You know, if you fool the cameraman, you've done a good job.
That's right. That's right. I'd like to thank the PA guy who's toned it down quite a bit here in the second half.
So, again, we're going to line up on a 4 wide receiver set with J.J. Ben as the tailback, offset to the left of the quarterback. He is the faster of the two tailbacks. He's more of the Lightning, where Jaleel Davis is more of the Thunder. Ball is snapped, given to the J.J. Ben is hit.
Great tackle.
He's hit immediately by the linebacker for a looks like going to be a loss of about a yard, bringing up 3rd down and 5.
Coach, that's number 53 for the Orlando Phantoms, who look like a Mack truck coming through there, hitting Ben. That's Jude Augustin. That's a defensive tackle, so it got to be Alfred Reynolds, number 55. Alfred Reynolds, the linebacker, laid the lumber there.
Yeah, it was a good hit. Bringing up about a 3rd and 5 or 6. This is definitely a passing situation now for Parsons. Parsons done a good job hitting these timing routes. I would probably look for that deep out or a quick stop route that he's been hitting.
I look for Jimmy Kelly. Right. Oh.
Swing route to Ben.
He's got to beat these guys.
The Phantoms. Phantoms are there. He is getting nowhere. It looks like it's going to be about a 2 to 3 yard gain. That is really good pursuit by the Phantom defense, not allowing the swing pass to Ben on the outside.
And again, Coach, that linebacking core, and that's really the same thing, because if you don't execute that pass a little bit quicker, it's the same as a quick pitch trying to get east and west on a fast linebacking core. Yeah. And as you saw there, Coach, they were all over it.
Yeah, that's the spread offense's equivalency to a toss sweep right there. And the linebacker crew and the defensive end did a great job of getting pursuit on the football, really.
10:37 to go here in the fourth quarter. 20-19, Coach. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a drop kick here.
I'll be honest with you, I like punting in this situation.
Yeah, I think you got to punt.
I'm not liking going for it right now. They are in an empty set.
He's going to drop kick this. He's got to drop kick this.
Yep.
Terrible drop kick. You got to do it better than that.
Yeah, they had nobody back deep.
You got to lay into that.
I don't know if having a hurt knee affected him on this little quick drop kick. He didn't want to get hit. Maybe if you are going to do that, bring in Kelly maybe to do that. Maybe Kelly has a better chance of doing it for you because he's a better athlete. We really did not end up on the better end of the
no, we sure didn't, because now it's 1st and 10 with 10 minutes to go. The ball is on. I mean, it's not, it's still in Orlando territory, but it's on the 45, Coach, and I just don't like that entire sequence.
No, we gained 12 yards there. What I think it started with, again, I know Ben is a faster running back, but I like Jaleel Davis in that situation. I think he brings a little toughness to the offense, being the running back in that series. We didn't get any good timing routes. It was a pretty bad series for the Tar Heels, allowing momentum to really shift to the Phantom side.
Yeah, not at this time of the game. You didn't need that. We said they couldn't go 3 and out. They did. We'll see what the defense does.
Back to the timing routes. They go on a quick stop route or bubble route to the inside receiver. They were in an empty set. Receiver gets about 6 or 7 yards out of that. Bring it up at about a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4.
That's a good stop there by number 6, but I do not like the fight. You can't stand over the player. It's Khalil Owens Sr. Can't stand over the player this time of the game, Coach, and talk trash. 9:44. We've seen the flags fly tonight for unsportsmanlike conduct. 3 on one drive that cost the Tar Heels a touchdown. You can't commit a stupid penalty here.
15 yards kills you in this situation. Make the Phantoms earn anything they got through the fact that they earn it through their play, not through the mouth or the insane antics. And he said, again, same play, little quick stop route to the receiver. Again, they're throwing the ball to the best athlete on the football field on quick stops, hoping he'll make somebody miss and try to create something.
Well, Coach, you and I talk about it with your football team. That's what you do, right? You get your best player the ball in space and let him try to create yards.
Yeah, again, 4 yards. Eventually, an athlete like that will turn a 4-yard play into a 40-yard play. I think the Tar Heels need to bring more heat, put the guy closer to that receiver. That is the best football player on the field. We need somebody near him.
20-19, Space Coast on top. 1st and 10, ball on the space.
Same play again.
Uh-oh. Did he get that, Coach? No, it hit the ground.
No, he didn't get it. Tip ball. They tried to go to the inside.
It hit the
receiver.
ground.
It was still the same play. It was a stop route by the slot receiver, and then the inside receiver ran a turn route. Quarterback decided to throw the turn route instead of the stop route instead of the turn route. I go back to number 1 over and over and over until they stop it.
All right, 2nd down and 10 following the near interception. And, Coach, they've got 3 turnovers in this game. They are averaging 4.5. Right here would be a good shot to get that 4th one.
It was almost the 4th one right there with a drop ball by Phantoms. So now they're going to line up in the empty set one more time. Brown has done nothing but look to the top of the screen or his right side. He continues to look there. Again, this same pass they've been successful for. Again, the fastest player on the football field gets 5 yards.
That's a good hit, Coach, but not before he picks up 5 or 6 more yards. Okay, Coach, what's the danger here? If you play man, then you got to bring a safety back over the top to keep him because then he blows by your DB. How do you stop that?
Well, I think the Tar Heels don't want them to burn them deep. That's why they're giving them cushion, but this cushion is literally
eventually you run out of room.
I kind of look at it like this. If you walk in a doorway and somebody hits you with a baseball bat, you're probably going to blame that person. You walk in that same doorway the next day, get hit with a baseball bat again, now you're going to start questioning whether you're going to walk through that doorway the 3rd time. You walk through the doorway a third time and get hit with a baseball bat, at some point you're going to be considered an idiot for walking through that doorway. At some point, we cannot let them continue to hit us with the baseball bat with that short route.
Well, Coach, that's going to bring up fourth down.
You know, what we had there is a tipped ball by the defense end. The defense end applied some good pressure.
We have a penalty, too? Oh, my goodness.
Delay of game by the defense.
How was that?
Because
you know what it was? Because he picked the ball up and ran it all the way down the field. That's you know what, Coach? You don't make that call this time of the game. That's a ridiculous call.
I mean, we're going back to some home cooking now, it seems to be, because one thing is we can question whether that ball was a parallel pass, ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage, or a forward pass. Defensive linemen aren't sure. All they know is they're supposed to pick it up.
Oh, there's 15 more.
Now we're getting a 15-yard, but we're going to lose our cool. We're going to give them opportunity to get deep in our end zone. We've got to stop.
This is a joke. This is an absolute joke. These officials ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. The one thing that officials should learn is never make the football game about yourself. Make the football game about the players on the football field. And right now, they're directly controlling this football game.
You know, look, I know that these guys, they don't make much to do this, but you're still, when you come out here and get paid to do this, you're supposed to do it in a manner that it's in accordance with what it requires, what the profession requires. That gentleman right there, for whatever reason, has he's made the profession look bad. That's just a terrible, terrible call.
I agree. Instead of having a 4th and 5 situation for the Tar Heels, we now have a 1st and 10. The Phantom have the ball on the 27-yard line. The one thing I will tell you, if you watch the NFL, this is supposed to emulate the NFL. There's a lot of jabbering and arguments that happen in the NFL between the referees and the players sometimes. The referees need to learn to literally have earmuffs. Let's look at it. You know, when you tell a kid earmuffs, that means he's not supposed to hear. They don't need to hear the chirping that's going on over there. Just allow the game to be played.
You can't throw a flag for delay a game.
Yeah, that's silly. Flag for delay of the game because a player he didn't even get it to the end zone. He only ran it back about 15, 20 yards anyways. Silly call.
I mean, look, he's walking across the field right now. He's got that little step about him. You know, he's wearing the white hat. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's showing that he is the authority figure on the field, but unfortunately, you don't need to do that.
No.
You don't need to do that. He's stomping across the field, little Napoleonic complex right now. I'm not trying to put it out there, but that's what we got going on right now.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Tar Heels control themselves right now. Play defense. One thing is they've been playing very good defense. Do not allow this situation to get you out of control. Play defense right now. Continue to put pressure on the field. I promise you they're going to come back to that short pass to number 1. Anticipate that short pass. Get an interception here and take it to the house.
I don't know if the FCFL gets involved with evaluating officials, the Florida Champion Football League, but I would certainly, if I'm an FCFL official, would take a look at this one and at least have a conversation with my white hat here, because there's just no need for what's and not only that, Coach, but not 20 minutes ago we sat here for 20 minutes, okay, while he apparently made a phone call on a rule thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, in that situation, when we sat there a long time, made a rule call by the phone call, it kind of allowed the players to show he wasn't 100% confident in his rules. Therefore, when you show weakness, other players are going to step up and go in and challenge your authority sometimes. That's the reason why you're probably getting the chirping from the players, is you didn't show authority earlier when the call there. Why show authority now and try to take the ball in situation in your own way?
And why do it by deciding the outcome of the game?
Yeah, because we could end up getting points here on the board for the Phantoms when it wasn't earned. That would have been a 4th and 5 is what they should have right now, the Tar Heels. Instead, it's a 1st and 10.
Yeah, and look, this official has been bad all night, and he's been equally as bad for Orlando. I mean, there's been some questionable calls for Orlando as well. And I hear what you're saying on the home cooking, but, I mean, this is just, Anyway, enough of the officials.
So we're looking at a 1st and 10 from the ball on the 23-yard line.
7:54 to play. Orlando on top, 20-19.
Here goes the empty set. Number 1 is offset to the right with 3 receivers to the right. I'm telling you, they're going to throw the football to the right side of the field.
And the center of the ball,
Hard count, free plays, just going to throw it in the end zone. It's going to nullify an interception. Again,
it's picked off, but it was a free play. That was Khalil Owens Sr.
Yeah, they nullify the interception with a free play, but offsides by the defense end. But notice, who did he throw the football to? Number one on the right side of the football field.
Right.
We need to understand by this point in the football game, you should have figured your opponent out by now.
And Khalil,
they're not very good at throwing the long ball, and they're going to throw the short ball to number one. When they do go long, it is to number one. Find number one, cover number one, that's who's getting the football.
And Khalil Owens is cramping up. So while Khalil Owens, they work on Khalil Owens' cramp, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back here on Space Coast Daily TV. Your score, the Space Coast Tar Heels 20, the Orlando Phantoms 19. Back in a minute.
There's no better time to buy a car than Mike Erdman Toyota.
And now that we're located at I-95 and 520, we make it even easier for you to save. Mike Erdman Toyota is now only 20 minutes from wherever you live. Come in today and see our huge selection, or go to MikeErdmanToyota.com to unlock our best price. Plus, every new Toyota is backed by the Mike Erdman Toyota Family Plan, including 4 years no-cost maintenance and complimentary loaners.
And remember, Mike Erdman is Toyota. Every day.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to SpaceCoastSeafoodFestival.com for showtimes.
Some homemade soup. I'm feeling pretty good, and that's the truth. It's neither drink nor drug induced. No.
Well, now the devil went down to Georgia and he's looking for soul.
When we realize that the most high divine is around and inside us, then we can sense how we want atmosphere and soldiers.
All of that great entertainment coming up starting Thursday. Actually, the entertainment starts Wednesday when the guy standing next to me, the head coach of the Vieira Hawks football team, Derek Smith, jumps and swims with sharks. Let me say this real quick before we get going. Let me apologize for my tantrum on the referees, because it's equally as unprofessional for me to speak of another man doing his job the way he believes is best. I don't agree with it. I don't like the call. I still don't like the call, but I probably went a little bit too far, so let me apologize on behalf of my profession. But as Howard Cosell used to say, GIF, we got to call it like we say it.
Yeah, you're true. They line up with one back in the backfield now. We got a 4 wide receiver set with a 1 back in the backfield. They're going to run the ball between the tackles. He gets bounced outside. The pursuit of the Tar Heel defense is there, and now we're looking at a 2nd down and 10.
Number 99 on the stop for Space Coast. That's Sylvester Easton, and that's the first time tonight we've called Sylvester's name. And as we know, Coach, right about here is the field goal line.
Yeah, their kicker definitely has the leg to be able to put it between the uprights from right about here. Anything further back, I don't think he has the leg. In warm-ups he did, but when it comes to the actual pressure of the game itself, I think this is about the extent of where he's going to hit a field goal at. We're now down in the empty set again. Number 1 is lined up to the defensive left, offensive right, top of the screen for you viewers. Snaps the football, looks for the quick turn route out of the inside slot receiver, and that's going to be about a 6-yard gain.
All right, well, Coach, I think what they're trying to do right now with 6:45 to play, trailing by 1, if they get in the end zone, okay, but now they are for sure into field goal range.
Yeah, I think that route right there was trying to get in the field goal range. I wouldn't be surprised right now, because the ball is in the middle of the field, they take and try to maybe hit number 1 in a go route down the middle of the field, if not down the sideline, for maybe a chance to get the touchdown. If they don't get it, they still have field goal range right here. If not, they're going to hit maybe a quick turn route to number 1.
I'd like to see a little bump and run here myself in terms of the defense. I don't think they're up close enough. And he pulls back.
First time he looks to the left.
Intercepted, Coach.
There goes that 4th turnover we were looking for.
That's the one that was needed.
Yeah. The thing is, it's the first time the offense looked to the left side of the football field or the bottom of the screen, and, of course, defensive lineman gets his paw up in the air, forces a tipped ball. The tipped ball ends up in the linebacker's hands, and we get the 4th turnover to the night for the Tar Heels. Great job.
The 23rd turnover forced by that Space Coast Tar Heel defense this season.
Yeah, this is probably, though, the most important series you're going to see of the night. We cannot have a 3-and-out right here. We also cannot force the football in the air and literally leave no time on the or plenty of time on the clock for the Phantoms. I like the running game right now between Jaleel Davis. Put the ball in his hands. Allow him to get your 10 yards through 3 good hard carries. Get that first down, because 1 to 2 first downs ends the game right now.
All right, Coach, 1st and 10 for the Tar Heels. Ball on their own 17-yard line. 6:03 to play. They've got the ball and the lead.
We got a two tight end set with I formation. J.J. Ben's in the backfield with the I behind a big fullback. Looks like they're probably going to go in a little ISO
That's a
play.
false start. That's the other thing you can't do, Coach.
Yeah, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. False start by the left offensive tackle or tight end. They're all pointing at the defense like he was protecting himself, but again, I think that is going to be a false start by the left offensive tackle. That was going to be a power play off the bottom of the screen.
So that makes it 1st and 15 now with 6:03 to play. And the other thing it does is it stops the clock.
Stops the clock, and it puts us playing behind the sticks. I mean, now we've got to get 15 yards for that first down. We do not have a good kicking game, so if we end up in a 4th down, our kicker is not very good in this punt situation. Bad opportunity right now.
Yeah, no question about it, Coach. You can only rely on that bend and don't break defense so much. Matt Parsons from the shotgun. He's got a back to his left and right.
Little handoff to Ben. Ben tries to cut it back, but the pressure on the Phantom defense is there. It's only going to be a gain of about 2 yards.
I like the way Ben double covered up the football. 5:55 to play. Fourth
he did
quarter.
a good job covering the ball up. He was not going to fumble the ball right there. We're now sitting at about a second, about 12-13. They're bringing in their receivers, so it looks like that Parsons is going to put the ball in the air right now and try to throw for a first down.
And here comes the defensive pass rushers for the Orlando Phantoms. So we've got the pass rushing defense against the passing offense, and he's got just one back to his right, Coach, and it is his pass catching back. Parsons from the shotgun, 5:25 to play.
Right now, the Phantoms are lining up tight like they're in a man zero, to be honest with you. They bring 2 blitzes. There was nobody there. Bad.
He caught it. He caught it.
That ball?
He caught it. He caught the ball. He's down, but that's a catch and a first down.
They're calling a catch.
Yes, it is a catch.
I'll tell you right now, if Parsons actually
throws
the ball, we are scoring right now.
Yeah.
One thing is, the Phantoms gambled. They brung 2 blitzing linebackers, had a man zero, meaning they had no safety in the middle of the field. We exposed them with a good catch across the middle of the field.
Parsons, to his credit, he hung in there because he got drilled after that one was over.
They brung 7 defenders. We only had 5 to block.
All right, that's a big first down for Space Coast, and now the clock, tick-tock, tick-tock, 4:45 to play, 20-19, the ball and the lead.
Yeah, we got a 2 tight end set again. They're lining up with the fullback to the right, tailback to the left. More than likely, we're going to run the ball off the offensive right side, defensive left. For you viewers, it's going to be probably ball being ran to the bottom of the screen. And there goes the handoff. Tailback decides to cut it right up the middle. He's only going to get about 2 yards, but again, there is nothing wrong with that call right now because it's going to keep the clock running.
That's a read on the running back's part, Coach. He could have followed the guy to the right, the block, but as you said, he elected to go up the middle.
Yeah, that's what it is. He can cut off his fullback, follow his fullback. That zone play is designed to be either or. It looks like they bring a bigger fullback in for this next play. Big number 4 checks in.
Coach, would you do a Parsons is very good at play action. Would you do play action here and look for Jimmy Kelly down the right side? He's got one-on-one coverage. The safety's cheating over to the right. I might take a shot here.
That's a good possibility right there, and there it is. Jimmy Kelly with a quick stop route. He's going to get about 5 or 6 yards, and we have another first down.
How about me?
Good call. Yeah, we have a mismatch. Jimmy Kelly, that's a mismatch here on the outside. He's bigger than the DB. They're going to play no safety over the top of him, so we can play pitch and catch all day with him on the outside. Again, now at 3:30, clock is dropping down. We're probably going to run the ball again on first down to try to bring more time off the clock.
3:20 to play, 20-19, Space Coast on top. They're going to have to start, Orlando's going to have to start thinking about how to possibly stop the clock. Boy, would this be a huge victory for owner Roger Lewis, head coach Mark Lucas, but we aren't there yet.
Yeah, the big fullback leans it up there. Jaleel Davis makes 2 people miss. I told you the guy can run between the tackles. He picks up 6 or 7 yards. I am impressed with his ability to run between the tackles. That is going to be a big first down run, bringing up 2nd and 4. That allows them to be able to run the ball again on 2nd down.
Coach, how, and now we're going to start to see it prior to the 2-minute warning, I believe, timeout Orlando. As Orlando discusses what's going to have to happen for them to win this football game, Space Coast talks about what it is they need to do to hang on. We'll be back after these words.
All the delights of the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival, March 7th through the 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. Enjoy concerts by the Space Coast Symphony, Soja, Kamani Marley, Travis Tritt, the Charlie Daniels Band, the Cadillac 3, Molly Hatchet, and more. Taste all the amazing succulent seafood and browse the arts and crafts. Marvel at the live shark exhibit and catch up with all your friends. Get tickets at all Ticketmaster locations. Go to SpaceCoastSeafoodFestival.com for showtimes.
All right, be sure to pick up the most recent edition of Space Coast Daily, the magazine. Inside of that is Space Coast Daily Medicine. And I got to tell you, publisher, our owner, Tom Palermo, does a remarkable job with the magazine. It's over 200 pages of high, glossy photos of nothing but great stories about life on the Space Coast of Florida and the people that make it such.
Tar Heels line up once again with 2-back set. They got a tight end in the game. Tight end is offset right. They're going to hand the ball off to up the middle. He tries to stretch it out. I don't know why he's trying to stretch the ball outside. We need to keep the ball in the middle. Oh, we might get a penalty here. We do. That's going to be on the Tar Heels.
Yeah, it is. It might be, Coach, this might be dual penalties here because the originator was from the Orlando Phantoms.
Yeah, but again, you look at the small things in a football game. One, they took Davis out, put in the running back, Travis Lindsey.
We haven't seen him all night.
Outside. We haven't seen him all night. Rather than keep the ball between the tackles, he tries to stretch it outside, resulting in a loss. And then from there, because it resulted in a 3 or 4 loss, it appeared he got up angry. He had somebody still on top of him, kind of flips him off him. I don't know who they're going to call in this situation, but if I'm a referee right now, I'm calling it on the Tar Heels.
And you saw Lee Moore, the fullback, turn around and ask him, "Why didn't you follow me?"
Yeah, I mean, he tried. Lee Moore was between the tackles, bring it up there. He went outside to tackle. Again, put the ball in Jaleel Davis's hands. He's been the guy that's been your workhorse. Allow him to workhorse you to the end of the game.
All right, I'm going to set the table for you. 2:36 to play here in the 4th and final quarter. The Space Coast Tar Heels with a 20-19 lead. Orlando can stop the clock 2 more times. They get the benefit of the 2-minute warning. So essentially, Coach, it's as if they've got a full set of timeouts left. And you know what? It's 3rd down and 5, pending what happens here. So we'll keep our eye on the white hat here and see what the call is going to be.
He called offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct between both teams. I like the fact they came up with offsetting. By doing offsetting, it's not putting the ball in nobody's hands. You didn't determine the ball either way. Both players got called for it, meaning it's going to be the result at the end of the play. The result at the end of the play still was a loss, so we're bringing up 3rd down and about 10.
I tell you, Orlando better be careful because he didn't hesitate to pull a flag on Space Coast, and I mean, based on what he's done so far in the contest, we could be looking at delay a game here. We could be looking at another 15-yard penalty.
Both sides just need to hush and
play football.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to call one right now.
All right.
I'm going to call one. I know they're not going to call it, but you know what I would call right now?
What?
I would call a quick kick.
Would you?
I would call a quick kick right now. Allow my quarterback to kick. There's nobody back there. Let that ball fall down in there in between the 10-yard line. Make Phantoms drive 90 yards.
Yeah.
Because we know they don't have a kicking game. If they don't get the first down right here, they're going to come up with fourth down without a kicking game.
35 seconds left.
The NFL rules, the clock is going to stop at 2 minutes.
2:35, third down and 9. Now, I don't know how the Tar Heels lost 4
They got
yards.
Jaleel Davis back in the game. I imagine if they don't put the ball in his hands right now with the run, they're probably throwing the ball out here to Kelly with a one-on-one.
I mean, it is all Kelly and one-on-one. Timeout, Orlando. So Orlando takes a timeout. And let's do this. We'll go through our final commercial break right here. You're watching Space Coast Tar Heels football on Space Coast Daily TV.
Yeah, the one thing that you
We'd also like to thank First Choice Medical Group. First Choice Medical Group, located on 709 South Harbor City Boulevard. First Choice Medical Group, Florida Space Coast, largest orthopedic medical center. Excellent staff of doctors. Dr. Kenneth Sands is there, and they just do a remarkable job. And make sure you get on over there. And if you're curious about their insurance issues, the staff will help you out with that as well. So here's the situation. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go. The Tar Heels with the ball and the lead, 20-19. Third down and 9. Matt Parsons has been coming through all night in these situations.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job with these timing routes. The one thing he's ended up with is he has a big receiver in Kelly here on the outside, lined up against a smaller DB with no safety help over the top. Does he use that opportunity to expose this right now?
I do.
Or do we just run the football with Jaleel Davis, hoping 2 runs gets the ball under 2 minutes? I don't like running the ball out right now only because we're on our side of the field.
The safety coach in the middle of the field is paying absolutely no attention to Jimmy over here. I will say this, though. He's got a good cornerback on him, but still, the cornerback is shorter. As you said, Jimmy's a big-bodied wide receiver. At the very least, I run Jimmy to the sticks on a stop route.
Yeah, without a doubt. Get him to the sticks on a stop route. You know, the corner's going to think it's going to go route. He hits his feet with a hard stop, turns around, catches the ball for a first down. We get a first down, the game probably is over. If we don't get a first down, it's going to be an exciting end of the game, I tell you that.
The final 2 minutes of this game is brought to you by All Points LLC. Check them out online at allpointsllc.com. I'll tell you about them here in just a second as you hear the fans starting to begin defense. 3rd and 9, Matt Parsons.
He takes it back.
Nearly picked off.
Yeah, they were looking for Jimmy Kelly.
Well, the problem was they ran too many routes that way.
Yeah, they had 3. It was flood route this way. They had the fullback over here, they had the tight end over here, and they had Jimmy Kelly over here, bringing a lot of defenders into the window of passing, bringing up an incomplete pass. Appears to be bringing our punt team on the field.
Well, here's the thing, Coach. Now you're in a bad predicament because waiting back for this punt is Velton Brown Jr., who, as we saw earlier, just could care less that there are defenders on the field.
No, he is definitely the fastest football player on the field. We're about to kick the ball to the fastest football player. Let's hope we get good coverage.
Here comes Alex Garcia on, and again, All Points LLC is a dynamic, award-winning, service-disabled, veteran-owned small business with experience that demonstrates the performance to provide low-risk, competitively priced services encompassing capabilities and fantastic program management logistics. Check them out online. Oh, no.
A penalty on the Tar Heels.
Oh, gosh. What? Okay.
We didn't have enough players on the field. We're running a player on the field last minute.
Did we call timeout?
Timeout by the Tar Heels.
All right, now that you've seen that, Okay? Now that you've seen the snap nearly go over the head of the punter, I mean, what do you do here? I mean, I don't try that again.
No. Well, like I said, the one downfall of the Tar Heels, like I think we got a very good aggressive defense. I think our offense is finally getting in tune, having a rhythm. Our special teams are pretty bad. That's about as bad as they get. We need to work on special teams for the next couple weeks to try to secure that part of our football game. Right now, seeing that situation, I'm not comfortable with it. I might bring my offense out and maybe go for it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what do you have to lose, Coach? Because if you snap the ball over your punter's head, the game is over for them.
Yeah, I mean, ball goes over the punter's head, you got the same result. Right now, they brought Parsons back on the football field, which means they're definitely going for it.
Yeah, you got to get that fixed. That's yeah.
They got a 4 wide receiver set. It's going to be Jaleel Davis.
Coach, I'm quick kicking it. I mean, I'm not trying to or you know what? Why not throw the ball deep down the field?
A go route is as good as a punt if it gets intercepted.
Then he goes back, he takes it back, and he puts his on it, and it's caught, and it is no good.
Well,
Confusing, very confusing. The one thing they'll tell you is when you do run it for 4th down, every route on the field needs to be past the sticks for first down. That was only a 4-yard route. We didn't need 4 yards for the first down. We needed 9.
Well, now we got 2:10 to play. Orlando with 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. And, Coach, they are likely, let's see here. Where's the ball? The ball's on the 49, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 yards away from a field goal attempt. And we said the game would come down to a foot. And, Coach, I mean, what do you do here? I mean, if I think you got to play all-out defense here. You got to continue. You can't protect anything.
Pressure defense.
You got to be the aggressor.
You got to find number 1 is what you got to do.
Ball's on the ground.
Bad snap. The Phantoms recovered.
Did they get the ball? They got the ball. That's a fumble. Space Coast football. Is that Space Coast football?
I got a feeling it's going to be second down. He's showing second down.
Okay, all right. I thought Space Coast got the ball. My apologies.
Second down, we almost got it. The quarterback recovered the football. Bad snap. That's what we want to see right now. It brought excitement to the football field. Again, right now, let's bring some pressure. Bring your middle linebacker up the middle of the field. Find number 1. Ball's going to go to number 1.
2-minute warnings here, and I want to tell everybody once again that this final 2 minutes of game brought to you by All Points LLC. Once again, please check them out online. All Points is a dynamic, award-winning service-disabled, veteran-owned small business with the experience and demonstrated performance to provide low-risk, competitively priced services encompassing capabilities in program management, engineering, information, technology, and logistics. By the way, their resume of customers only includes places like NASA, all of the space centers, Navy SEALs, the United States government, the Air Force, Civil Air Patrol, Department of Agriculture, and so forth and so on. So if you're watching and you've got a business that needs a company like All Points, why not use All Points LLC?
Here we go. Empty set. Number 1 is set to the right for the offense. Phantoms are snapping the ball to quarterback. He looks for number 1. Of course, it goes to number 1. Makes about 100 people miss. He's got a first down up the middle of the field.
Coach, I guess my biggest problem here is everybody from here to Kalamazoo knows the play.
Yeah, we know the play. They're going to get the ball to number 1. Take our best DB, put him on number 1, quit giving him cushion because he's making you miss every time.
I can tell you how this is going to end. Either number 1's going to score or there's going to be an interception.
As of right now, they're in field goal range. What's happening right now is we're keeping a 2 safety set. By keeping a 2 safety set, that's allowing us to try to cover 3 receivers with 2 defenders. It's not working. Take the safety over here on this side of the football field. Get him away from the 2 receiver side. Bring him over to the 3 receiver side. There's no need to cover the 2 receiver side over here.
125.
There goes number 1 with the football. Again, makes people miss. First down.
Here's the other thing.
He's going to be short.
Here's the other thing, Coach. You know he's getting the ball. He's never one time the entire football game turned and ran to the outside.
No,
he's always to the middle.
Turns the ball back to the middle every single time.
So it's 1:01 to play here, and they are most certainly in field goal range.
Yeah, if those of you that watch football, understand football, watch the screen. If you look at the screen, we're using 3 defensive players to cover the 2 down at the bottom of the screen. Dietrich Witherspoon is the deep safety down here at the bottom, whereas we're using the same situation at the top of the screen with 3 wide receivers. We've got an outside linebacker out there, a corner, and a deep safety. The problem is the 3-on-3 to that 3-man side is causing us problems. Take Witherspoon, put him in the middle of the field, allow that safety to walk up on number 1, and dare them to throw to the 2 receiver side at the bottom of the screen. Because, 1, the 2 receiver side at the bottom of the screen is not as athletic, but ultimately don't let them win the football game by throwing it to their best player.
Yeah, exactly. And, the other thing, Coach, is that the adjustment, I mean, look, if you're looking for a player of the game tonight, it's Velton Brown Jr.
No doubt. For them, he's Velton Brown Jr. He's the best football player on the field right now for both sides of the football field. I'd take the chance right now. Take the chance.
Technique is important here because several times tonight we've seen tipped balls. We saw one go for an interception. So you've got to try to do – and look, they've got an empty backfield. I would look for a quarterback sneak here.
We're in the same defense again. We're guarding 3 with 3 at the top of the screen, leaving 1 a little hard pressure now. We got a man on top of 1. There goes the quarterback up the middle of the ball. The flag, we got a late flag. If that's on the Phantoms, that could be a big penalty, especially in the mere fact that could be a holding penalty.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy, 55 seconds to go, and that's going to back them up 10 yards, Coach. So the ball was at the 16. That puts them at the 26. That makes the field goal a 41-yard attempt at this moment.
Yeah, that's a crucial holding penalty by the Phantoms. I like it right now, to be honest with you. The White Hat owes us one from the calls earlier.
He owes us several.
We still need to understand. I mean, if they don't run a quarterback draw or a quarterback run right now, they're going to get the ball to number 1.
They're not throwing the football.
No. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, though. Their passing game is just like a running game, as quick as the timing that they have, but probably not throwing the football. But they don't have much time on the clock now. The clock is running with 50 seconds left.
I'm going to zoom in on Felton here and see what happens.
They're looking to the left for the first time, coming to the left again. Good tackle, but again, like we said, the coverage to the left is there.
That gets the ball back to the 20 right now, Coach. 37-yard field goal attempt. Still no chip shot.
No, it's not a
30-29, clock's running.
For a quick pass. He's not going to ground it right now. It looks back to the left. He's going to run up the middle. Incomplete pass. Doesn't hurt the Phantom. Right now, that is not a bad ball. It doesn't hurt the Phantoms because now they're going to bring out their kicking game.
Yeah, 22.5 seconds to go. So a block, a miss, anything here, Coach, and it's curtains for Orlando.
We said it could come down to the foot of one of the kickers. It's definitely it's going to come down to the foot of one of the kickers as we have a 1-point lead. They're going to line up their field goal team right now and try to win this football game with a field goal.
The kicker, in case you're wondering, for the Phantoms is number 10. It says. Is that number 10, Coach?
We need to go ahead and call timeout here. Ice the kicker.
I'd call every timeout I've got.
Let's go.
Bad snap.
It's going to go between the uprights.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking. That's going to be heartbreaking right there, guys. That's a big kick by the Phantom to put it between the uprights to put them up by 2.
Why no timeout?
Yeah, I would have iced the kicker right there. I don't know why we didn't call timeout, but again, maybe sometimes allowing the kicker to kick real quick, maybe puts it in a rush mode. Maybe, I don't know. I try to ice him there to maybe discuss it, maybe set up my block team. We still have a chance. If they don't squib kick it and kick it deep, we could probably return one possibly here, but it's been a great game so far.
Yeah, definitely one Orlando should be out in front of. The score is 22-19, so we've got 2 missed extra points and 45 yards in unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, Coach. That's the ball game.
Yeah, essentially that's probably the ball game. You know, we need to look at it as a program that we played very well as a program, that we are getting better and better as we go. This definitely, if it represents the playoffs, shows that we have a chance to be a playoff contender. If we want to be a playoff winner, though, we have to get better at our special teams. Our punting team, our extra point team, every aspect of our special teams has got to get better.
There are a lot, there are a couple of things tonight. I got to be honest with you. It's our job, as we said earlier, to call it like we see it. I didn't agree with a lot of the play calling selection tonight myself. I didn't. I'm not criticizing the coaches, but I didn't like some of the defensive calls tonight. Coach Ty does a great job, but I didn't like how we didn't adjust to stopping their best player.
Yeah, the 3-by-1, the empty set with the 3 receivers to the top of the screen kept getting us. But it's going to go back to, if we had a punter, we had a legitimate punter, we punt the ball in that situation, they got to drive the ball 80 yards to try to win this football game. We didn't have one, and it's not the first time in this game that we didn't have a punter and it hurt us.
Look, Coach Dyche had a remarkable, an unbelievable 2 weeks with the passing of his wife, and so the bottom line is a lot. But that's where other people need to step up on the coaching staff and get that taken care of. They've done a fantastic job tonight battling to this point. And again, I'm not being critical. What I'm saying is that you had the same player out of the same formation, the same play, beat you all night.
Yeah, without a doubt. The one thing, though, is you learn most of your time through losses. Having a loss allows you as a coaching staff and players to examine what exactly brought about that loss. You study it, you fix it, and you become a better team through it.
And I'm not a guy, if there's comments, and we can't see the comments right now, I'm not a guy that's going to say the referees cost us the game. I'm the guy that was in the camp, Coach, that the pass interference penalty didn't cost the New Orleans Saints the NFC Championship game. What it cost the Saints was an opportunity to get the ball a little bit closer to score a touchdown. Sean Payton cost the Saints the NFC Championship game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's a story for another day. But
even though it was bad reffing in this situation, we still had opportunities to win.
Sure, we should be ahead.
Yeah, we punt the ball, have a punting game, we win.
Yeah.
If we had a couple opportunities there where we drop the pass, we win the game. Go back to the series where they scored a touchdown. 3 15-yard penalties in that series. There was definitely a lot of things that we did wrong that allowed the Phantoms to actually be in this game. To be honest with you, I think the better team tonight did not win.
And kicking off to Felton following the touchdown.
Yeah, so the better team tonight, I think, is going to walk away the loser, unfortunately. But I think we did prove we are a playoff caliber team, but we'd have to fix the little things.
This is definitely a building block for this program. Coach, this is definitely a building block for this program, something that Roger Lewis and Mark Lucas and Rodriguez and Dye can hang their hats on and move forward. And everybody learned from why they didn't win this game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're going to learn from this situation. You need football games like this to be a great playoff caliber football team. We're going to have a couple shots right here, maybe 1 or 2 shots here to try to throw a Hail Mary. I look for maybe a crossing route across the middle to get us about 18 yards, and then we're going to try to throw one in the end zone.
Look, I still think that based on the fact of everything that we said about special teams, maybe you try to get down, throw one deep down here in the middle, call a quick timeout, and rush your kicker out there to give it a shot. Why not? Stranger things have happened, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Their kicker just did it, and why not ours? But, again, that's what I would go back and work on. Our special teams, I would probably take the next 2 weeks to really work on our punting game and our field goal game.
For the Space Coast Tar Heels following this one, they will take off and head down south. They're going to play a good Miami team before playing the Broward Barracudas and the St. Pete Stampede in the next 3. He's going down. That's the game, Coach.
Yeah. We had the receivers down the field, the low snap, and with the slight lack of mobility by Parsons allows them to get the sack.
We are on the road for 2 more after this. I apologize. The schedule's wrong. No, it's right. Polk County Rise next week. Then we're at the Miami Chiefs. And that's the game, Coach. Your final score, The Phantoms 22. I'm sorry. The Phantoms 22. The Tar Heels 20. This game tonight has been a presentation of Space Coast Daily Television. Once again, please check out the Space Coast Seafood and Music Festival coming up Thursday, March 7th through Sunday, March 10th at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira. We'd also like to thank Frog Bones. We forgot to give the last two trivia questions, but you know what? That's okay. I'll save them for the next contest.
It was definitely a good game, to where we lost track of the trivia questions because it was a very interesting game. I would like to say Jaleel Davis would be my player of the game, even though we get a loss. I think Jaleel Davis is slowly proving that he's a workhorse on the offense. He changes the tone of the offense. We're just a few strides away from being a championship caliber football team.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and fix a few things on the offensive side when it comes to our running game and passing game combination. Defensively, I think we're almost there. More importantly, though, we have to fix the special teams. Once we do that, we are definitely in the hunt for a championship.
No question about it, and it's our honor to bring you these telecasts. Of course, tonight's game brought to you by the Seafood Festival, also brought to you by Frog Bones Family Shooting Center, All Points LLC, First Choice Medical Group, and Mike Erdman Toyota and Nissan. Final thought, Coach. Final thought.
Final call. All right, I don't have a headset on, so all I hear is the radio man playing this song. The final call is this. I liked the football game tonight. It was a very exciting football game between both football teams. We said in the beginning of the night we thought that it was going to come down to a kicker. It came down to a kicker. We did get our turnovers tonight. Four turnovers was not enough because the fact that it did come down to a kicking game, it was mostly because we shot ourselves in the foot with a few penalties. Take those penalties away, fix our kicking game. We have a good football team here, fella. So I'm looking forward to next week and seeing how we get better next week.
No question about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap it up here from Lake Brantley High School. Once again, your final score, the Orlando Phantoms moved to 4-0. Space Coast drops to 3-1. But as Coach Smith said, we leave here with the feeling tonight that the better team didn't come out victorious here tonight. At least tonight, Orlando's a great football team. So, for Coach Derek Smith, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. This has been a presentation of Space Coast Daily TV. Once again, your final score, the Orlando Phantoms 22, the Space Coast Tar Heels 20. Our next telecast here on Space Coast Daily TV will be coming up on March the 23rd when we're back at Astronaut High School as Space Coast hosts the Broward Barracudas. So for Coach Derek Smith, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Have a great night, everybody.